Okay, good point.
I'll reset it in a second
All
when I'm
right.
done eating.
So, welcome back,
Wait.
everyone.
Let me wash my
Thank you.
hands.
I hope everyone's Easter, if you celebrate Easter, was enjoyable.
Yeah, thank you.
And
Same to you.
all right. So last we left off, you guys had just visited Chaz Loat's house on behalf of finding out more information about dragons, as suggested by Maxine Drathkala. So currently, like, you're still in his sitting room. Just to describe it again, it's got an excessive amount of draconic decoration around it, between figurines and paintings and tapestries, and then a number of books, and also a cabinet where he keeps kind of like a localized alchemy lab slash potion cabinet, which he did provide you some potions out of for a quest that he gave you, which was to speak to a green dragon to find out more information, or to obtain actually crystal balls from, right? You guys remember all that?
Yep. Crystal ball from the dragon.
Yeah. Yeah.
Very scared.
Something with a blue dragon or something, right?
Green.
Green dragon. Right. Yeah.
Yep. So he also gave you an interesting bit of information in regard to. So the green dragon's name was Old Gnawbone, and Old Gnawbone supposedly makes her home in the Crypt Garden Forest, which I believe I highlighted on your map, on your big map there. So I'll just switch you to it for a second. But he also gave you some interesting information in regard to Lord Artan Rosolio, which he believes is affected by a supernatural affliction known as the Aboleth's Touch, and that there may be no cure, but it could be possible that an Aboleth lives near Yartar. Any questions on this so far? Everybody remembers?
Yep.
Yeah.
Everything sounds good.
Okay. So, that being said, you're left to your own devices as Chaz says, "Oh, please excuse me. I must tend to my silver dragon upstairs." And with that, with a flourish of his robe trailing behind him, you hear some more clatter and the screeches of cats and the pounce of cats running from one side of the room above to the other side, as he hurries up the stairs.
Well,
So
that was
leaving you guys
interesting,
alone.
fella. He sure was smart.
I want to pet the dragon.
Sneak upstairs.
Well,
I'm going to peruse his spell books.
So everything looks like it's, as you stand up and you walk over to his little library shelf of books here, nothing stands out to you as being like a spell book, but you do see a number of books on dragons, especially green dragons, and they all have to do with a variety of topics, like the diet of a green dragon, or how to cook for a green dragon, or a dragon's favorite colors, and weird topics like that, like a green dragon's sexual mating practices. And they will have like really, really long, kind of convoluted names, with somebody who obviously had way too much time on their hands. And you also see that there are a few actually even written by Chaz Loath himself.
This guy wants to get in a relationship with the green dragon, obviously.
Yes. Pick up one of his books, the books he authored. I hope it's not the mating habits one.
Avoiding the mating habits one, you actually find a book, a very small, not too fat tome, on poetry dedicated to dragons. And
Oh my
and
goodness.
it's utterly horrible. After 2 minutes of flipping through this, you're like, "Geez, man, this guy's got serious problems."
Can't even get it.
Does it rhyme? Oh, jeez.
Zinfel, what kind of book do you have there?
A book of dragon poetry?
Can you read some?
Oh, no, no.
Nothing?
It's not worth saying out loud. Put this back on the shelf.
Yeah, it's A particular poem called "A Dragon's Lament" stands out. There you go. That's what it says.
We don't have time for any of your cheesy dragon poetry. It's time to.
He
Think
went
we better-
upstairs. He's not here with us.
Oh, geez.
Well, I was talking to Zinfel over there.
Oh, well,
Well, you hear his
I
voice
think-
call out from upstairs, and he kind of yells. He's obviously in another room away from the staircase, and he says to you, "I'm going to be up here for a little while, so please, if you need to leave, see yourselves out."
Might get up and walk out.
All right.
Yeah, I follow.
Good chatting with
Yeah.
you.
trying to pull Winter, make sure he doesn't chew on any books.
Goodbye, come again.
Bad Winter. Get out here.
Well, where to next?
Put you back on.
I
the
know we
Lord
need to
Deep map.
visit. I know we need to visit Lord Dreslin still. Let the Nandars know what's going on.
Oh, yeah, we could visit them. Didn't we want to ask them if they could probably go help or something?
No, I thought we were going to not speak to them or tell them what we were doing. Because Lord Nandar is persona non grata with the elves.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, but you know he's the
There's a right
Only
to know,
Nandar
I guess.
we know about.
Probably just to have him be aware of what's going on.
Maybe if we go over there, make him promise that he won't mess with the elves at all. I don't know.
Oh, yeah.
Elves do keep long grudges.
I mean, I feel like we should pay him a visit to the Nandar family. I feel a responsibility. You don't have to come if you guys don't want to, but I feel like at least I gotta go give him a bow or something. I don't know. I'm new to the night.
Don't forget, you also have other
Thanks.
quests in Waterdeep.
Yes, we do.
We do.
Get the Google Drive.
Yeah, we had. Didn't we have something to drop off from in Golden Fields?
Yes.
From
Zilang, I
Zilang.
think. Zilang. Yeah, that's right.
Little pendant.
Who has that? I don't have it. Does someone have that thing?
I think I have it. I was the one who talked to her after she didn't, or not that she didn't. I think Emin didn't want to talk to her, so you sent us her way.
I just kind of smile and shrug.
He's a peculiar fella, that's for sure.
Show.
For sure.
Yeah, I can see Lang give that or to Sebastian. Give that to him. I wonder if he's
Sebastian.
ever seen red-headed mermaids before.
I just look up and I yell out, Sebastian? Sebastian!
If it were only that easy.
Well, I would guess that they would be in the North Ward, right? This is the fancy schmancy ward of butlers and things.
Oh, it's a butler. Oh,
A head butler of the House of
oh yeah.
Than.
Well, I had to talk to some fancy people to see where Lord Dreslin is anyway, so maybe we can talk to the same fancy people and ask them about this Sebastian.
We could. That is an idea. Let's do that. Let's find someone to talk to. Let's see if we can. Is there anyone walking?
Oh yeah,
I
yeah.
guess
There's
we're outside.
people, you know, doing their business. You find nobles and noble ladies enjoying the nice day outside. You find city guards. You don't really see any merchants because this is kind of like a residential area, but there's people out. Women with carriages, you know, taking a stroll with their children or babies. Yeah.
Random woman
Yeah.
with your babies.
Me?
Scare them off.
You stop a rather young-looking woman with you know, a big floppy hat, sun hat, you know, pushing a stroller down the street, and she seems kind of taken aback by you because you guys are armed adventurers, kind of just hanging around, and you just like went up to her in the middle of the street. So she definitely seems like kind of nervous, and she's pretty, but you know, she says, "Me? What? Is there something? Can I?" She's stumbling over her words.
Do you know of the House of Than?
She's kind of like stunned silent for a moment, and then she processes your question, and she says, "Oh, you're looking for House Than? Yes, I know of them. Everyone knows of House Than."
Well, we're new around here.
I can see. Her eyes like dart to all your weapons.
Could you kindly point us in the direction? We'd be very appreciative.
Yes, of course. You need to head. They have very large holdings. They're vendors, you know. So if you look at the northern side of the North Ward, you'll find a lot of the fields are where they keep their vineyards. And she nods her head. Okay. Good day. And she hurriedly takes her stroller and walks off.
Yeah, terribly sorry. Thank you.
She kind of waves over her shoulder at you guys and hurries down the street. But you have a good direction now, and you know to head to the north side of the North Ward, toward the Field Ward, where apparently they keep some vineyards.
Oh,
We
damn
had-
it, I forgot to ask her about Dreslin.
There's more people around. We could probably
Next
ask
one,
them
next
when
one.
we're over there.
I bet, you know, they're fancy people. They'll know other fancy people. I think that's how it works.
All the fancy people know each other. They have to.
Yeah. Or else who they being fancy for?
I'm sure the people at House Than might know something.
Could be
Or they
possible.
might be.
All right. Well, you make your way in that direction toward House Than, and like I said, north side of the North Ward. And although it takes you a sizable amount of time, maybe an hour or two, to actually locate their place of residence, what you find is a very large villa, reminiscent of you know, seeing an Italian-style villa in like Tuscany. You see very open grounds, long rows of grapes, grapevines, and then you see there are workers out in the field wearing straw hats, tending to the grapes themselves. But the grounds themselves are beautiful. You see kind of like red clay tiled roofs, people doing landscaping maintenance, and there seems to be one guy who stands out and just seems like he's directing everybody and doing what he can to be in charge and generally get the workers to make sure that they're doing the work they're supposed to be doing. What you can tell is that he's a tall, thin man with kind of straight black hair. He's relatively good looking, but the guy looks like he's probably no older than like 28. Definitely, but despite his relatively young age, he seems to have a demeanor and bearing about him that says he's in charge. And obviously, he's also dressed. This is not obvious, but he's dressed in what appears to be blacks and whites that are reminiscent of what a butler would normally wear.
Could be the dude.
Possibly.
You see guards
Awesome.
around. He spots you as you guys are standing outside the front gate, and a couple of guards walk on over. The first thing you can tell about the guards is that they're holding spears, but you can also see that their shields are distinctive and seem to bear a specific crest that looks just like that, with the link that I just provided.
Ooh. A bird pooping on a horse's head. That's beautiful.
Interesting.
So one of the guards, a clean-shaven man, maybe in his 30s with a square jaw, says, "Is there something I can help you adventurers with?"
We're looking for a Sebastian Chimsale?
Ah, you're looking for our head butler. Well, he's right over there. May I ask what your business is here?
We have something for him from a close friend of his, Jilang.
His eyes kind of go. You can just barely tell that they go a little wide. Anybody with a perception of 13 or higher. And he says, "Is that right? I think you should wait here then. May I ask your names, or whoever is in charge of your little group?"
Thornbur Throkenwit. We're the Stone Sworn.
Sure you are. All right.
Thornbur looks a little deflated.
He kind of stifles a laugh, and more like a mocking smile, and then he turns away with the other silent guard, who just seems like it's his first day on the job, as he's just following the other guy. So they walk up to the head butler, and they exchange words for a minute or two, and then the butler and the guards walk on over. And just give me one moment so I can show you what he looks like. Let's see if this works, because I don't want to do that just yet. All right.
Very anime.
Yep. So he does bear definitely the slanted eyes that are reminiscent of people from the east, a region on the far side of the world called Karatura, which encompasses a lot of Asian similar countries, including Xiao, which is the real world equivalent of China. So he says, greetings. I hear that you're here on behalf of Zilang. Is there something I can assist the Stonesworn with this day? And his eyes are locked on Thornbur, who apparently the guard told him that was the leader of your party.
Push him forward.
Here you go, friend.
The one of them has something. What do you?
We have a
She
pendant.
like-
Zorana, yeah. What do you got? Something.
She like asked us to bring you this, and I hold out the black pearl pendant to him.
His eyes narrow. He says, may I see that?
Yes, here you go.
He takes it in his hand delicately and then gives you a nod and a smile. And he examines it very closely for at least like 10 or so seconds, holds it up to the light, and then he says, please follow me. If you have the time, of course. I'm sure that getting out of this hot sun would be refreshing for you.
Oh, yes, please. Thank you.
So he motions to the guards to, walk behind you as Sebastian leads the way up to the villa itself. And then what you find is a very opulent interior that's very sunlit, and you see a lot of decorations that are sort of in line with what would be at a vineyard style home. So you see like decorations of paintings and of vineyards, rolling hills, sunny landscapes, things like that. And it's very cool in here as well, as you can obviously tell it's pretty well ventilated. He walks you over to what looks like a sitting room, kind of like an open foyer that's open to the air, and he immediately orders a couple of other butlers around to serve you some drinks, including some cooled wine. And then he sits down and motions for you to sit as well in these really comfortable red velvet couches. Anybody who decides to taste the wine, let me know.
I do.
Yes.
It's
Must
super,
have
super
refused
good.
something.
Probably one of the best wines, if you've ever had wine, that you've ever tasted. It's not acidic at all, and it just rolls down the tongue and leaves you quite refreshed. And it's cool, naturally cool for some reason.
I chug it.
Chugging it does not go beyond Sebastian's notice, and and he says, that's our most recent vintage that you're chugging now. He says, you must enjoy a wine. Let it savor itself on your tongue. And he says, can anyone tell me any notes that you taste upon it? And you can try to make why don't we say a nature check using your intelligence.
Tastes like
Yes.
grapes.
Taste alcoholic.
You guys are good.
So Kareem, to you it tastes like dark cherry and chocolate.
Okay.
And to Zorana, you're reminded of some berries that grow, some very deep, sweet, almost sour berries that grow in the high forest where you're from. And Zinfel, to you, it reminds you of notes of dark oak. Dark mahogany, or let's just say chestnuts.
Chestnuts.
Mine tastes like chocolate.
Chocolate.
It's very sweet, almost nostalgic.
Good. I'm glad that all of you enjoy it. He says, so tell me how it is that you came into possession of this pendant here. And he holds it over his arm like a towel.
We passed by Golden Fields and met Ji Lang there, and we helped them out in their recent debacle, and she asked us to bring this to you.
I see. What sort of recent debacle, and is Ji Lang fine now?
Yes, she was okay. I think a couple
she
good a lot of
survived.
people took a beating. But
She seemed like a
she's
pretty
doing
badass
fine
lady.
now.
Yeah.
She was quite
fought giants.
capable.
Giants.
Yes.
You know, many of our grapes come from there. He says,
From
those that we
giants?
don't grow here. No, golden fields.
Golden.
Oh, I see.
Not from giants. he laughs.
Give a cheese and smile.
Well, I have no reason
Get
to
off.
distrust what you're saying. You seem truthful enough. Tell me how it is that adventurers happen to be within the walls just at the right time to fight these giants, as you say.
Luck.
Giants seem to follow us wherever we go.
Destiny.
We're hunting giants, and you know,
We are.
my God has a plan for me, so he must have sent us there. He does that, you know. Have you seen? Look at this sword, and I pull out. I unsheathe my great sword at the table. Look at this. You see it glow? Retribution.
He says,
Careful with that in the
please,
house."
yes, if you could be careful.
No, I'm
I
sorry.
don't mind you
put
taking
it
out
away.
your weapon, but this is neither the time nor the place. There's been much talk of giants lately, he says, and frankly, all the houses are concerned. He says, well, it's interesting that you have brought this pendant here today. This is an heirloom of the Z family. Why Ji Lang felt it appropriate to hand it to you, I can only imagine. But she has spent nearly 2
Save their
decades.
fucking asses.
Well, he seems a little perturbed by your use of your strong language there, but he says, yes, that's probably exactly the reason why. Frankly, I'm not surprised. She was probably looking for someone worthy to pass this on to. Well, I don't mean to take up any more of your time. I know adventurers can be very busy. He says, having handed this pendant to you indicates that she is ready to bequeath her inheritance.
What does that mean?
How do you know Ji Lang?
Ah, yes. Well, her father was a general in the Shao army some 40 years ago who had passed on. He says, she was a young girl when she came to House Dan as an orphan. She was raised here for some time, but felt the call of Eldath and decided to become a monk in Golden Fields some 2 decades ago.
Monk of Eldath. What is that? It's like Spanish
Eldath?
death?
Eldath.
El Deatho.
So, you can make a religion check.
Can I make one too?
Yes, but you're from a different area, so you have a disadvantage.
My disadvantage doesn't mean nothing.
Oh,
You
shoot.
know about Eldath? A dark and brooding figure.
go by Chupacabra in other places.
So,
Maybe it's in the city a bit.
yeah. Wow, that's really good, Kareem. And so Zinfel also, you know that Eldath is actually the goddess of peace and nature.
Ah.
Oh,
Wow. Should get a
That's,
better name.
that's ironic.
From El Death.
It's
Eldath.
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 Oh.
I like El Death better. Okay, there you go.
Yeah. So anyway, yes. So you asked, what does it mean to bequeath her inheritance? Well,
Yes.
as I was saying, her father, Ji Hao, was a general who had passed on some time. When her family could not support her any longer, is when she became an orphan of House Thun. But with her came some of her father's possessions, in particular a suit of armor that has passed down to her. Obviously, as a monk, and considering that the armor is made for a man, she decided to leave it here. It is rightfully hers as part of her inheritance, but from what I hear, the armor is very valuable and quite magical. I guess that means that the armor is yours now.
What?
Oh.
And he claps his hands twice, and a couple of butlers, they leave the room, and he says, "I will have them fetch it for you."
Are you sure? I mean, you wouldn't want to impose or.
I have no reason to distrust you. He says, the black pendant here was returned. He says, and you seem like you're telling the truth.
Yes, of course. Well, we're deeply
I
grateful.
chuckle at that.
So, just based off of insights here, Thornburr, you get a very, when he says that, you don't really think he means that he doesn't trust you guys. You get the impression that this guy knows somehow that you are being truthful. You could see like something about the twinkle in his eyes, the slight smirk on his face, just something about his demeanor in general. You can tell that this guy knows that that you guys have been honest with him and have returned the pendant to him appropriately.
Have I noticed this or just Thornburg?
Just Thornburg.
Damn. I can't act on it then.
So you guys sit there in kind of like a quiet silence for a moment, sipping your wines, as this guy's just sitting cross-legged on this very lavish chair, watching everybody with his hands folded in front of him.
Friend, you mentioned that you heard the rumors of these giants. Anything interesting?
Perhaps I should not have said rumors, but no. It is very true that giants have come knocking upon Waterdeep's doors. He says just a few days ago there was a cloud giant castle in our skies, you know.
What did you guys do about it?
He says, whatever the lords and ladies of our glorious city decided to do about it. He says, I was
don't
not
know?
personally involved, but I do know that they were only here for a span of 2 days and then left.
We did hear from Chaz that the Lady Waterdeep spoke with them about something. But I don't think he said what.
His eyebrow cocks for a moment and he says, Chaz?
Yes. The
You like Chaz?
dragon expert, Chazloth Yardhorn?
Ah, yes, the eccentric wizard that lives south of here. I do not know him personally, but I have heard his name. And
He is pretty
leaves it like
eccentric.
that. Well, whatever it is that you've heard, it is true. From what I understand, the Cloud Giants were not violent in any way. But perhaps to learn more, you'd have to speak to Lady Silverhand herself, or one of her many attendants.
That's the lady who talked to him.
Yes.
He says, you have not been in Waterdeep long. He says, Lady Silverhand is our queen, to say. Not a queen exactly, but definitely the leader of our fair city.
Well,
Is she
we
single?
gotta talk to her.
He looks at you and he says, single?
No, she's,
He gives
is she
a
married?
long, hearty laugh. If you're in the practice of courting immortals and the chosen of Mishtra, and you can get over her love of her deceased husband, Lord Arunson Blackstaff, then be my guest.
Sorry to hear that.
The key thing is if you have a black staff to give her.
Whoa. I don't know about that
Sebastian
one.
does not laugh.
None of us have black staffs. I have a wooden staff. What are you talking about?
Well,
Are you familiar with the mating habits of green dragons?
What the?
Oh Lord.
just as you asked that question, the two butlers, they come into the room with a rather ornate,
Trying to make
kind
small
of
talk here.
Chinese stylized wooden chest bearing some bronze and silver metalwork, and they set the chest down next to Sebastian, who takes the pendant and fits it into the front of the chest into some sort of lock that you've never seen before, where the pendant fits perfectly inside, and then he turns it and you hear the chest actually click.
Whoa.
Oh.
And he says, "Glad to see that it's not not a fake replica." And he takes the pendant after he unlocks it, and puts it in his pocket as he opens up the chest. And from what you can see inside, is a rather interesting suit of armor and helm, which I'm about to show you in a second. But before I do that, he explains. And he says, this is the Z family armor, otherwise known as Eternal Fortune. As I said, it was handed down to Zilang from her deceased father, Jihao, who was once apparently a high-ranking general in the Shao army over 40 years ago.
Wow.
What does it do?
He says, I know the helm grants you the ability to see in the dark. Apparently it's any wearer of the helm can carry his voice out quite a distance. Being a general, I can imagine that was useful. The suit of armor itself was reinforced by a very strong metal called adamantine. He says, but together, that is where the set of armor known as Eternal Fortune truly unlocked its magical power. Apparently, it made the wearer very lucky. A luck that did not run out.
Eternal Fortune.
It doesn't look very stealthy.
Yeah.
What else you got in the chest?
What kind of armor is this?
Oh, so I thought I linked it, but I guess I didn't.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, you did.
Oh, I'm trying to look over it really quick.
Scroll down. Splint mail armor.
Splint mail. Can I have this, my friends?
I can already see Nandor.
Yeah, that's not really my style.
I'm not a man. I think. Pretty sure.
Is everybody okay with that?
Take it. If you can use it.
I look it over.
It looks good. It looks really good.
Hmm.
Looks better than what you're wearing.
Does it feel heavy?
It's heavy. I mean, it's split mail armor, but nothing that you're, not
Well-
too much of a difference than the armor you're currently wearing.
Don't know if I want to put it down in front of all of you, but
Right. It's yours now, so you can do what you wish. If you need privacy, I can have one of my attendants lead you to a changing room.
I know I would prefer that.
yes, let's
I
do
think
that.
we all would prefer that, he says.
Sure. I take it.
Yeah, so he has the butlers help you out, and they lead you to a room where you can get changed. Kind of like a very large bathroom that you're given privacy at.
Cool. I put it on.
Yeah, after about 10-15 minutes of taking off your existing armor and putting this one on you, you can return. What's everybody doing while he's gone? Anything?
Preparing
I
catwalk music for when he comes back out.
I asked Sebastian, I say, hey, Sebastian, any chance, you heard of the Nandar family?
Ah, yes, I have.
Lord Dreslin Nandar? Do you know where I could find him?
The Dreslin family, I'm sorry, he says, the Nandar family has a home here in the North Ward. A villa not too far, close to the west side.
Okay. Will I just go there and ask around, or do you know specifically, like, does it have a fancy door or something?
You can tell from your insight that he is definitely withholding some information. Like he knows a lot more than he's letting on. Thornburg?
I say the reason I ask is I
Oh,
am a knight of the of the Nandar family, and I need to report to him, but nothing, I'm not up to no good or anything.
Well, he says that I know that Lord Dreslin has been on in his years. He says, but if it's true what you say, then I will grant you specific directions. And he goes over to kind of like a little writing desk off on the side of the room, and he pulls out a drawer, pulls out a sheet of paper, a quill, and he jots down very specific directions on how to get there from his home, or from this place.
Oh, well, thank you very much. Do you
You
know
do
the
not.
guy? Do you know him at all? Is he a good
I
guy?
know of Lord Dreslin, yes. Is
kind
there
of-
any particular reason you're asking?
Well, my friends got me kind of worried about him. I didn't know much about it, but they found some book that said he wasn't the best guy. And I'm just wondering what to expect going in.
Well, about 10 years ago, Lord Dreslin returned to Waterdeep a changed man. Changed in very physical ways. From what I understand, he fell from the top of his keep after an attack by elves from the Arctic
Yeah,
Forest.
I knew about that part.
Yes, well, he barely survived the fall. From what I hear, he has a deep and loathing hatred of elves and elven kind. I would be careful, considering you have two half-elven breeds in your party.
Man,
Gonna have to
That's
leave
too
them in the
bad.
table.
Maybe we don't want to go talk to this butthole anyway. Oh God! Whoa! I like check myself, realizing that I just called a member of the royal family a butthole. So I didn't mean that. I didn't mean that. I'm sorry. I didn't mean
Just
that.
do it.
Well, yes. Just be careful not to remark on his appearance. Any attempts to do so may rekindle old memories. Oh, and he has lost sight in his left eye as well.
I'll be sure
Okay,
to stay
so-
with blind spot.
The elves will just stand on his left-hand side then.
I don't think it works like that, Thornborough.
All right. Well, thank you for all your help. I really appreciate it.
Tell you
Yes,
what,
sir.
he says, why don't you make me a persuasion check?
Okay. A moment. Persuasion. Oops, sorry.
That's right. I'll take your first 16. He says, for entertaining an old man, I will say, why don't you take a case of wine? You can bear
wow.
it as a gift to Lord Dreslin. But
Oh,
don't
thank
tell him
you.
you got
Oh.
it from me. Say that you bought it on your own.
Wow, that's very kind of you.
He snaps his fingers at
Good
one of the
thinking.
butlers who immediately leaves the room.
Wow. Yeah, that'll
Much
make things
appreciated.
easier. Thanks a lot.
He nods.
You have to go through all this for us.
But it's no trouble at all. Ah, and your friend returns.
Hey, had one luck.
He's doing the fawns. He's like, yay!
You're a sexy beast.
It's not exactly the same style that I normally wear, but it's pretty cool.
A Mulharandi wearing Shao armor in Faerû, and you're just a big bag of confusion.
It's very confusing, but it's nice.
It's
Feels
pretty
good.
nice. Fits you like a glove.
I feel like I can see things better.
Yeah. But just keep in mind that in order to properly attune to it, you need to spend an hour with the armor.
Okay. Does that count when we're walking, or does it have to be a rest?
And that'd be fine. Light walking is just light activity, so I would allow that.
Okay. So maybe when we're visiting, I'll do it. It's pretty cool. It fits
Oh.
pretty nice. What
If you don't
what should
mind,
I do?
I will keep the chest.
Oh, sure.
Of course.
What should I do with my old armor?
Put it in your bag.
Throw it out.
It's pretty heavy.
Well, if you wish,
Okay.
I can have it brought to wherever it is that you're staying.
We
Where
don't
are we
really
staying, guys?
stay anywhere.
No, we
We stayed at
The
the
slaughtered
what
whore.
was that place called? The Slaughtered.
I'm not familiar with this inn, he says.
Oh, it was great. We had this really good drink. Would you
No,
like to
we
try
didn't.
it?
Oh god, it was terrible.
No.
Yeah, you don't want to try this. Trust me.
No.
He was out of his mind.
This is about 10 steps below this wine. You don't want to try it.
I think I will refrain then.
Darn
But
it.
as I said, I can have the armor cleaned for you if you wish and brought to wherever it is that you're staying. If you want to let me know later, that's fine as well.
Maybe we should just give it to him.
Unless you
can
need
sell
help suggesting an inn for you to spend the night at.
Somewhere around here would probably be better.
If we're staying the night here, we're not sure yet, right?
Yeah, it's still pretty early in the day. Yeah,
If I recall,
or is it evening?
no, it's like early afternoon, maybe 1 or 2 o'clock.
Yeah, I mean, I don't have to go too far to High Ward and go find Lord Dreslin. And then, you know, what else do we have to do here?
I don't think there was much else. I was thinking maybe we could see if we are able to be greeted by Lady Silverhand's presence to ask her.
Yeah, where's Lady Silverhand?
Probably the castle ward.
Yes, that is correct.
Cool.
What's in the City of Dead?
Well, if you're looking for an inn to stay at, I could suggest the Grinning Lion. It is quite famous in terms of taverns in the North Ward.
But
Grinning Lion.
did you hear what I said?
Well, what was it?
What is the City of the Dead?
Ah, the City of the Dead. He says, I'm surprised you don't know this already.
No, I don't know
A
anything.
giant graveyard?
Yes, that's exactly what it is. It's the only legal cemetery in Waterdeep. He says contains many
it spooky?
mausoleums and extra-dimensional spaces to increase the crypt space within the city.
Wow.
He says some of the poor residents have also made it their home.
Have you been there?
He just laughs. A quiet chuckle to himself.
I don't know what that means.
Mosey around cemeteries? Maybe where you come from. Everybody all rah-rah for the dead.
Yeah, this guy kind of creeps you out, Thornbur. Like the hairs in the back of your neck kind of stand up, especially when he kind of chuckled at his at the response to Kareem's question as to if he's been there or not.
Well, I think it's time we ought to hit the road. We got things to do. Appreciate all your hospitality.
Wait, are we sending my armor somewhere?
To
Why
the
don't you just
Grinning
put it in the
Lion,
bag?
then,
You
if
wanna
that's where you decide to go.
Yeah, sounds like a good idea.
Something about the lion? Is everything?
Grinning
it so.
Lion Inn. The Grinning Lion
Okay.
Inn.
Well, do we want to try and make it out of here by the end of the day, maybe?
I don't
I know.
We could probably rest before we head out. We don't have to head out today.
All right, Rush.
I don't know what we're
Ready to-
doing.
Find some giants, though. I mean, the longer we wait, the more those giants keep floating on that cloud.
Oh, by this time the butler has returned with
Guess
the
we have to
with the
find
case
out
of
what those giant
wine. By the way, so you're given a dozen bottles of red wine from maybe about 2 years ago, which is the most recent vintage from House Thon.
Oh, thank you.
Wow. Thank you so much. This he's gonna love this.
He says, "Please enjoy."
Emin, you're
Now,
so
how-
quiet. Is there anything you want to say? Emin? Emin, are you sleeping? I look
Of
over.
course not. Staring at you in your pretty armor.
Okay.
Wine put you to sleep?
Now, how many bottles is
12.
appropriate to give to someone?
All 12.
Is 12? You think that's a good gift, or is that like coming on too strong?
I know what you're saying. Yeah, I think we could keep 2 for ourselves.
Sure.
Why do we need? Oh, dude, we should just give the mind flayer.
No, we want to make
Oh,
friends.
God,
not
no.
enemies.
No. Yeah.
Yeah, never mind. You know, now that I think about it, if we give him a case that has a few missing, it'll probably look even worse than, you know, it'll be obvious that
We
we
bought
took
a
some.
case. We bought 10. They gave us a case that fit 10. They're not gonna make a case of 10 a case of 8.
Yeah, no.
Are we trying
They
to
only have
steal?
2 sizes of cases, man.
I added a picture to the Mind Flayer, by the way. That is
Cool.
the way it looks, the bottle.
Oh, nice.
That's
Except
crazy.
it's filled with like bluish purple liquid.
Mm,
Wow.
sweet.
All right, never mind. I take it back. We're giving them all. I snatch them up. I snatch up the case.
Don't drop those.
If it's more
Well, no, I-
appropriate, I can give you some sort of bag if you wish. You can grant him a
Is
couple of bottle of wines. Although I'm
I think-
sure he would appreciate the case more.
Yeah, I'll give him a case. He's
We'll
a
give him a
fancy man. He
case.
knows that
Yeah.
a case is a case, or I don't know what I'm saying. Let's get out of here.
Let's go see him.
The graveyard.
No. Trying to pull a fast one on us.
All right.
So
Well,
we're leaving.
Okay, so you leave the villa, right? And Sebastian, says farewell to you and good luck. And
Thank you for the armor.
you leave with the armor
No
in tow.
wine.
You gave him your chainmail, I think, is what you were wearing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I assume that you're starting your attunement process to the armor as well.
Yeah.
Okay. So it's definitely a significant walk where after about almost an hour, so you're able to attune to the armor no problem.
Cool.
You do, following the directions that Sebastian gave you, find the Nandar family villa.
as we're walking,
Yeah.
I ask, you elves want to, Remen and Zorana, do you guys, I don't know if it's a good idea for you to come to this place.
Yeah, I don't think it's a good idea for any of us to go in there, but,
I mean, honestly, I could go alone. I feel like it's probably going to be quick. I just feel a responsibility to go meet the guy and tell him what's going on and see maybe he has something huge that could help. But, this is kind of Nightstone stuff. Wants to come, feel free, but I feel like bringing elves in there is just going to piss him off. And he seems like, I almost say butthole, but I say not a nice guy. So, if I wouldn't play.
I want to
is all
come.
I'm saying. Okay. Cool.
Maybe
Yeah.
he'll want a bottle of mind flayer.
Oh,
I mean, I don't know if you have anything else to do, or you guys wanted to go to the. What do we have to do in the graveyard?
nothing.
Nothing.
Don't
Absolutely
listen.
nothing.
Don't listen to Kareem.
I was curious.
I
Okay.
think you can go in here. Just
He's got
be
me
careful.
confused.
or if you want
Alright.
to run, I have errands to run.
You can do that too.
Oh, well, good luck. Try not to shoot him, but if you do, don't miss.
I
All
will.
right. So we'll just meet you. We'll just meet you at the castle, Emin. You want to do that? Or you can come back here.
Okay, or the Ilmaterites, or the inn, or, you guys have so much to do.
Wait, are there Ilmaterites? I wasn't really quite sure about that.
They're
In
in
the
the...
field.
There were a few wandering ones.
They're in the field ward. It's
Okay.
about, nice
Yeah,
man. at
that's
the
before we
I
knew
did
it was
wanna
an
mention
incurable
that.
disease.
I kind of gave you guys wrong information because I wasn't super familiar with Waterdeep, and I did do a lot of research over the past couple weeks. So
Okay.
Waterdeep is actually not like a very religious town, but there are a lot of religions here. In fact, it's the most probably openly religious city in all of the Sword Coast. So there are a number of temples here that exist within the city, and particularly in the North Ward, there is a temple known as the Plinth, which has open worships to the entire pantheon.
Oh,
Do we want to go try to help our Squidward with that?
Squidward.
We need to kill an aboleth to free him of his affliction.
Unless
Oh,
a god can help us.
That's a question too. Did you take Lord Artan with you, or did you leave him at the slaughtered horde in the morning?
No one should stay at the slaughtered whore.
yeah. I think we would have
I think we would've
taken him with us.
him with us.
No, he was with us because he was getting freaked
Yeah.
out at Chazlaus when
Oh,
he was
that's
hearing
right.
all the
That
info
is
about
correct.
And we gotta
Yeah.
pour water on him all the time, you know?
Yeah, that is true.
No, we're keeping him in a barrel.
Oh, that's right. We have him on a barrel, right?
Yeah,
And,
got that at
No, we don't. What
we're like
barrel?
pulling him.
I just imagine every time he tries to talk. I just imagine every time he tries to talk, somebody else like speaks over him, and he just he just like gives up.
I'm
He's
just like,
Well, he's
just
utterly
like holy
miserable.
watering him.
My poor lord.
Yeah,
We
he
will
didn't.
get you.
He didn't come with you inside to to House Than. You know, you guys left him outside with
With
Winter, right?
Yeah.
Because Winter's
Yeah,
got a
we didn't want
cart
to get
that
the
he's
rugs
hauling him in a
wet.
barrel.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So when
All right,
you
well-
return, Lord Artan says, "Well, it's about time you came back. What's that you got there?" And he looks at.
Do I look good?
He says, "You look like you got some new armor. It's hideous."
Yeah, I did. I think that's ironic coming from you.
He just bows his head in shame.
It will be important to keep him protected when we're slaying the aboleth to free you from your horrid affliction. You will be well again.
She just killed me now.
See, that's what I want to do
Do not give
originally.
up hope.
They said, no, we gotta save him, so we're gonna save you, whether you like it or not.
Well, where are we going next?
But the Plinth is a good idea. In 2nd edition, this would have been cured with a remove curse. Stupid aboleths.
What?
Maybe we could find a really
Huh?
good priest. But we'll see.
Yeah, I mean, I'd like to check that place out anyway. It'd be kind of cool.
So what are we
Uh,
doing?
Places to check out.
Good. Then you go talk with
Let's-
the racist old white person. I'll go do some errands and meet you at the Plinth.
Plan. Sweet.
Fair enough.
Let's do it.
So you guys
Alright,
are
see you
splitting the
there.
party? Did I hear that correctly?
Hell yeah! We are
It's always a good idea.
multitasking.
It is good.
Actually, it is. It always works out when we do it.
Every time. Every time we've done it.
Oh, I gave you some wrong information. I'm sorry. The Plinth is in the Trade Ward, not the North Ward.
Oh,
Trade war.
that's four.
Hiking all over this city.
Yeah.
We'll
Can
go
only
there.
do stuff in the the North Ward right now.
I'm visiting the graveyard.
What the?
No, I'm just kidding.
All right. So if I understand this correctly, Emin is going to the Plinth. The rest
No.
of you guys, no?
Emeth is not going to the Plinth. I'm meeting them there.
Oh, you're meeting them now.
Uh-huh.
So where are you going in the meantime while they're going to the House Nandar villa?
To run errands.
Oh, what does that mean?
I'm looking at my notes.
Okay. All right. Is anybody going with Emin to run errands, whatever that means?
You don't know what his mysterious errands are.
Just planning on heading to the Nandar villa with Thornburg.
Oh, you are going. Okay.
Oh no, but you're a half elf.
Are you hiding the fact that you're a half elf in any way?
I like rifling some, jimmies. What rifling?
Oh, wait,
rifling the
so you-
jimmies.
Rustle his jimmies.
Yes.
Yeah.
You like
what are
rustling
you
his
doing to his
jimmies?
Jimmy? It's so
I-
weird.
I don't disagree that maybe his jimmies deserve to be ruffled, but I don't know.
I can put my hood on, I guess. It's really cold over here,
I'm sorry. I don't want to make a bad impression. It's like I know that he's probably not a nice guy, but he's still an important guy.
I could stand
My town.
outside. I could just,
Yeah, Stan. That's right. I forgot we already went
I
over.
got a tent of the winter,
You're always on his left hand.
He's got a blind eye. Yeah.
Yeah. I'll stay
Alright.
behind winter.
Yeah, we'll be fine. I forgot about the blind eye. We'll be good.
We'll figure it out.
All right. So I take it then everybody but Emin is going to the Nandar Villa, correct? Going once, going twice.
Yep.
Sold. All right. So you make it to the front of the Nandar Villa, which appears to be an unassuming stone facade set with a pair of wooden doors. Embedded on the doors, you see iron plates embossed with a stone bridge and a flying flag. So you're
What
there.
was the flag look like?
The flag looks like an island in the middle of a river.
Is there an aboleth around it?
No.
No, it's Nightstone. It's Nightstone.
Oh, right, Nightstone.
Right. That place.
Wow.
Hey, you never took that book of bad dragon poetry, right?
No.
No.
Oh, man, I wish.
But I have that one poem written down. The Dragon's Lament.
Wow.
Did you actually read that poem? That poem's horrible. Huh?
Somewhat
Did you make
rhymed.
it up?
No, I just found it on the internet.
Oh.
I did a
It's
search for
hilarious.
dragon poetry.
Oh my God.
There was an actual surprising amount of dragon poetry out there.
I don't doubt it.
What's the rule? Rule 86. If it exists, it's out there. Anyway.
I thought it was. Never mind.
Roll 34.
Rule 34, right? If it exists, there's something sexual out there about it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So anyway, so like I said, nobody greets you. The villa, like I said, is pretty unassuming. This is obviously not the a villa to the equivalent to Hasthan's, which we just went to, which was a huge ground. But this place kind of looks a little depressing.
Oh, I don't
Well.
think he's going to offer much help.
Wow.
He's
We
destitute.
have a lot of wine.
Don't
Well,
judge a book by its
We're
cover.
giving him information, not asking for help. I think. Wait. I think we were.
Oh, yeah.
Well, I don't know what we're doing. Let's do it.
Yeah, I don't really know either. I just feel like I gotta talk to the guy.
All right.
We'll see. Hopefully
He's
it's
not
short.
guilty.
Sure.
Hopefully
Well,
it's
there's a knocker on the door.
Knocks it.
All right. So Thormer walks up, knocks on it. Maybe about a minute or two later, you hear footsteps approach the door, and kind of an old man, clearly balding, just the barest wisps of hair above his ears, and really kind of stooped, dressed in a butler's outfit, says, "Yes, what is it? Can I help you with something?"
Hello. Yes, you could. Thank you. I hail from Nightstone, and I come bearing news for Lord Dreslin.
You're here to see Lord Dreslin. Very well. Come in, come in. And he opens the door, and as you look inside, you can tell it's really dark. and dingy in there. There is a smell of pipe smoke that's very prevalent and kind of like old people. As you walk inside, and as you walk inside, you can see that this place doesn't get much attention at all. He pulls off a lantern on the wall, and you can see that the windows are mostly shut. And this place is the exact opposite of the Than Villa, which was airy and drafty and it smelled pleasant. This place is kind of, like I said, depressing and not sunlit at all. So he walks you into what looks like a parlor, does not offer you anything to drink. There's not even enough chairs for all of you to sit. And he says, Lord Dresden's enjoying his afternoon bath. I'll tell him that you've arrived. Your name, sir?
Thornbur Throkenwood.
Yes, and you're from Nightstone, I take it?
Yes, I was a knight there. I am a knight there.
His eyes scan the rest of your group. Are you hiding your ears, Zorana?
Yeah, I have my hood on. It's cold in here. Dreary.
Okay. So let's see. Everybody else is a human, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, I'm a human, but I'm not from.
Well, his
here.
his eyes kind of linger on Kareem for a moment, and then he kind of gives you like a grimace. But
I give him a
doesn't
smile.
He doesn't say anything to you, but he says, "Please be seated." He says to Thornbur, and he looks like he gives you the best chair in the room. It will just be a moment, and he slowly shuffles out of the room after he lights a couple of candelabras. As you're standing around and looking at the place, the first thing you can tell in this dingy study is that there's a liquor cabinet off to the side with a bunch of crystal goblets and stuff like that. But on top of that, there are a number of mounted animal heads everywhere in this room. Kind of like you are literally in a hunter's den. You also notice that there is a suit of armor that is off in one corner, and it appears like it is seen heavy use, but is otherwise well maintained. And in addition to that, there are a number of other books and weapons mounted on the wall, including a very strange, long, rifle-like object.
I look at the rifle a little bit.
It looks like it's meant to shoot a harpoon. You can tell that it is shaped like a rifle would, but it's slotted so that a harpoon could be mounted on top of it and shot.
Whoa.
There's a couple of other, interesting weapons here, like a bow and a long sword and shield. But aside from that, everything else that dominates the room is hunting related. So you see, like I said, a bunch of mounted animal heads. So did you leave Winter and Lord Artan outside? I take it. Okay.
Yeah. I don't see any elk heads, do I?
Oh yeah, yeah, you do. You see an
Get a
elk
little
head
sad
there.
inside.
Yeah, horns, antlers and all.
Oh no.
There's also an interesting other creature there that you have none of you have ever seen before. When you look at it, it kind of looks fuzzy, and from what you could tell, it appears to be some sort of black cat. But above its ears, kind of coming out of the plaque, are what look like these two odd. It's really hard to describe. They're about the size of hands, but they're spiked, and they're black and kind of diamond shaped. They appear to be, the same black fur as the cat's face.
Huh.
You can make a nature check if you wish. Cream does not know. Zorana does not know.
I've seen a lot of things, but I've not seen that thing.
Zinfo.
Yeah.
Thornbill doesn't know either. But Zinfo, you recognize the creature as the mounted head of a displacer beast.
Ooh, this is awesome.
What does that mean?
It's a creature that it's like a giant cat, except it has 2 tentacles on its back, and
What?
it it doesn't always show up where you think it is. It's a strange creature. I've read all kinds of stories about them.
You killed it.
though.
I found that beast in our deep forest, I did. And what you see is a rather plump, kind of pompous-looking man who looks exactly like this. 1 second. He's got his hand tucked into his his tabard as well. So Gray Mutton Chops, he's wearing armor. He looks like he's in his full regalia. And keep in mind, you've been here maybe about 20 minutes. So he says, welcome to my humble abode. My name is Lord Dresden Nandar. And I take it that as his eyes fall upon Thornbur, he says, you must be Thornbur Throkenwit.
Yep, that's me.
Hello,
Good
it's
shot.
a pleasure to make your acquaintance, boy.
I reach out to shake his hand, and then realize that he has a hook.
He does not look pleased when you do that. Like, the look on his face, he seemed like he was friendly before, and his face just turns into a frown. Yeah,
I
you trying to
go,
mock me, boy?
No, sir. No, Lord. Not at all.
He says,
You must be one tough fella.
tough indeed. This is, I see you brought your adventuring companions with you. May I make the acquaintance? And his eyes fall upon each of you. When his eyes turn to Kareem, because he stands out the most right now, he kind of gets this look on his face of brief disgust. And he says, who are you?
Oh, my name is Cream. Nice to meet you. And I
Did you say your
do the
name is
exact same
Cream?
mistake. I reach my hand out and realize he's a hook.
He says, you think that's funny, Cream?
No, I'm sorry, my friend.
You notice that he's saying his name like Cream. He says,
Close
where are
enough.
you from? You look a
I'm
little
from a
dark to be
place.
from the Sword Coast.
I'm from Moharand.
I see. You're a long ways from home then, aren't you?
Yes.
Alright. He ignores you for the time being and turns to the other people in the party. He looks at Zorana.
I'll bow slightly. It's a pleasure to meet you. My name is Zorana.
He says, you haven't had a pretty lady in my house in quite some time. He says, you can get yourselves comfortable. He says, Zorana, is it? Hey, you don't have to wear a hood in here, lass.
Oh, thank you. I'm a little chilly.
Boy, I'll have my butler turn on the fire for you. And he says, Mikkel, And he said, "Let's get a fire on in this study." And the old butler shuffles on into the room and walks over to the fireplace and starts preparing it. He turns to Zinfel and he says, "Ma, now aren't you a beaut?"
Oh, please. Zimfel Emberbrand of Neverwinter. At your service.
Oh, Neverwinter, there's a fine place as any. Always been meaning to visit, but on account of my condition, I try not to stray too far from home. Haven't been there, maybe 15 or so years. He says, Emberbrand, huh? I'm not too familiar with the family name. He says, what is it that your family does?
My father's a part of the Lord's Alliance. But my mother's a bookbinder.
The Lord's Alliance. Oh. He says, and a bookbinder at that. Well, not a very honorable profession, but the Lord's Alliance, well, those people are to be respected. Yes, sir. He says, I know a friend of mine who's part of the Lord's Alliance itself, has a home right here in the city, in the North Ward.
Really? Who might that be?
He says, he's a bit of a fop, this fellow. His name is Lord Wilhelm Talabat. He says, in fact, I think he's actually from Neverwinter himself and settled in Waterdeep some few years ago.
Oh, it's good to know.
Good to know indeed. Well, can I get you, lords and ladies, any a drink? Well, I got his whiskey.
I don't think so. But I apologize. I should have led with this. We brought you a gift, and I had, like, behind the chair, I pull out where I had sitting a case of wine.
His eye cocks at you as he goes over to the liquor cabinet and starts preparing himself a glass of whiskey. And he says, "Brought me a gift, a case of wine." He stops what he's doing and he says, "Well, bring it on over here, Thornburg."
Of course. Only the best for my lord.
All right. So as you walk over with a case of wine, he seems like he is looking it over with his good eye, and then he says, "Oh, latest vintage from House Stan." He says, "Well, I'm not much of a wine drinker myself, but this is a fine gift. Why don't you make me a persuasion check? However, you would have normally gotten advantage on this, but you kind of insulted him before with the handshake, so it's just a normal check."
Okay. It was worth it.
Well, thanks, is what he says. And he says, "You can set it over there, on account of me only having one hand."
Oh, well, I don't understand.
And as
works,
at
but-
that point, he motions with his good hand over to a corner of the room where there's a desk and a bunch of stuff on top of it. But at that point, the butler, Mikkel, has finished setting the fire in the fireplace, and it starts to get warm in here, considering it's roughly the equivalent of April in the game.
Well, I don't mean to dally. We actually just came to pass on some sad news. Have you happened in Nightstone?
Yeah, speaking of which, what's a knight of Nightstone doing off duty? And all the way up here in Waterdeep? Did you come to deliver me some sort of message?
I have terrible news if you haven't already heard.
Fine, out with it. He says, bad news is bad news, and unless I need to be sitting down.
Your
Go
lady,
on board, tell me what it is.
Your sister's dead. Velrosa.
Sis-
Lady Velrosa.
sister, daughter,
Is that a sister or is that his daughter?
daughter.
Nobody knows.
His
Uh,
father.
let
It's very
me-
close family.
Let me just check the notes here.
Lady
thought it
Nandar
was
passed away.
Your wife.
Lady
Your mother
Vilros
died.
passed away. Oh yeah, you're right. It does say father here. Not his.
Oh no.
Yeah, hold on a second. My journal is not working.
That's gonna be really mad.
Sorry.
Give me
Just a
one
slip of the tongue.
second.
It is actually getting hot in here.
Don't worry, I'll save the day, guys.
So yeah, that's a mistake. My bad. That's actually they are according to the Nandar family lineage, that is his sister.
Oh, okay.
Oh, nice.
Okay.
Nailed it.
Yeah.
Tried to
Nice.
trick me,
I
but
made a
I'm too
mistake
good.
in the journal and I listed it as his daughter, but it's actually his sister.
Ah, good. Good job, dude.
Nice insight, dude.
That's what I only read one of the things, so that
He
helped.
gets real serious for a moment, and then he says, he kind of doesn't say anything. He just looks you straight in the eye. He puts his chin up, and his frown gets even deeper. And he says, "All right. So she did. How did she die?"
Nightstone was attacked by giants, and the stone. Is it called the Nightstone? Do the
Yeah.
people call it like the
Yeah.
Nightstone? The Nightstone was stolen. The cloud giants.
Oh,
There's
when
some-
you say giants and you start explaining this, his expression changes, and he says, "Gods be damned! You said the giants came. These damn giants are everywhere. First they come to Waterdeep, and now they're spotting a Nightstone, and they took the Nightstone itself." And he just starts cursing up a storm.
Calm down. Calm down.
It's a horrible news, and now my sister's dead.
I'm sorry to bring you this news, but I thought you ought to know.
He
We're doing our best.
He tries to save a little face, and he seems like not very remorseful that she's dead, but like he doesn't get teary-eyed or anything like that. And then he says,
Yeah.
"Well, all right. So I take it that the people want me back. They need another leader in town. Eh?
Well,
Is that what you came here for, boy?" He says,
no.
"Mikhail, stop packing my things. Let's get our trunk ready, and we're making a trip back to Nightstone."
Here's the thing. Don't you have a
Another sister?
treaty
He says,
not to return?
What did you say?" He turns to you and he gets very serious as he goes back to fixing his drink. "What did you say, boy? I traded?"
It was. Listen, we're taking care of Nightstone, and we're doing our best. And I'm worried that you going back might bring more danger with you. Due respect. I'm not saying it's rightful. All I'm saying is that there's peace.
Somewhat.
And
looking for
Nightstone
Claire.
is vulnerable. We're looking for your other sister, Claire.
"You got some nerve, boy. You come here talking to me about some sort of treaty with the elves that did this to me?" And he gets really violent as spittle flies from his mouth, and he gets very red in the face. And he says,
I've seen this.
"You're
before.
saying that there's not a single leader up in that keep, and you expect me to just sit here idly at Waterdeep when those are my family lands?"
They're taking care of themselves right now. Daphne. You remember Daphne? I'm sure she was there when you were before you left.
He says, "I don't give a flying fuck about Daphne."
Everybody, calm down. Let me pour everybody a drink, okay?
What do you think I'm damn doing, you Mohorandi? He looks like
Hey,
he's about to
hey.
I
call
got
me
something
something
really
else,
special
but
for you, sir.
but
This will
really-
help you.
He held his tongue for a moment, surprisingly.
Can I take out the bottle
He,
of Mind Flayer?
Oh, sure, you can take out the bottle of Mind Flayer. He finishes pouring himself a whiskey and he downs it in one gulp. And
Can
then
I
pours
interest
himself
you-
immediately another drink, and notice he has not poured you guys any drinks.
Can I interest you in this whiskey? It's very good.
I kind of pull him back and give him like
He says,
these
"I ain't
eyes.
drinking no Mohorandi piss."
Don't do
And
it.
that damn near doesn't look like whiskey. Whoever said whiskey's blue?
It's a very interesting whiskey. I think you would like it.
It is really hot in here. Everybody is starting to sweat, considering the increased tension in the room as well.
I'm just trying to keep on that.
I just want to give somebody this Mind Flayer.
Oh, and the butler has left to pack his bags, by the way.
Oh, shit.
But the way that guy moves, it'll probably be hours before he's finished.
You sure it's
This-
gonna catch fire?
Where's he keeping the glass? His shot glass. He's just holding it.
It's more like a a whiskey glass. So it's
Okay.
thick and cylindrical.
So I can like.
And he's standing actually at the liquor desk, the liquor whatever it's called.
Cabinet?
Yeah, it's sort of like a cabinet. It's
So I can't, like,
it's more like a cart.
I can't like sneak one.
I mean, you can walk up to him, but he's right there, and he's a pretty big dude.
My lord, I didn't mean to offend you. Nightstone is very important to me, and I think it's important to you too.
You're damn right it's important to me, Thornburg. You damn idiot boy. He says, "Listen, nothing you're gonna say is gonna talk me out of going back to my home." He says, "That place needs a leader." And what's this business about Claire? I heard you mention her name before.
We're looking for her.
Well, good luck.
We're traveling.
That damn woman's probably in a gutter whoring herself out.
Hey,
Good for nothing,
that's
sister.
not. Don't say that about her.
He looks at you and he says, "What do you know?"
I know her. She's cool.
He looks really confused by your statement for a moment. And then like this kind of like expression of understanding, like brief understanding, crosses his face, and he says, "Why is this Mohorandi saying that he knows her?" And he looks at Thornburg.
Because he knows.
It's true.
Biblically?
It's a long story.
What? He says, "I want to hear about this." He says,
Oh,
"You say
Lord.
that you've seen my sister?"
Yes.
That
She
damn
was
girl's
actually-
been seen in he says, in a decade.
A long time.
He
Yes.
pauses before he says a decade.
She was captured as a slave in Moharan.
He says, "Oh, really? A slave?
Yeah.
Out there in the desert?" He says,
Yes.
"Great. Well, serves her
I
right.
freed her.
Probably drew up some sort of debt from all gambling and whoring and drinking she does.
I have no idea.
He says, now where is she now? Probably dead, right?
We don't know.
We're looking.
We're trying to find her.
Your mole around here is useless than an asshole on my elbow.
I have a great drink for you if you want to try it.
Oh, man.
You get that drink away from me, boy.
But it's so good.
I ain't having none of that.
One taste.
He says, now I got shit to do. He says, you just made me mad. He says, well, thank you for the kind gift, Thornburg. He says, but I'm going back to Nightstone, and nothing you say is going to make me change my mind.
God damn it.
Well, I guess that's that then.
Yeah, that's that. Anything else?
I think the elves
Don't-
want to kill you.
Bring forces with you if you go down.
When you mention elves, he gets so red in the face and angry looking. His eyes look like they're so bloodshot from the two quick glasses of whiskey he's just drank. And he
Died of a
says,
heart attack.
what did your Mulhorandi say?
Shells?
You see his hand, his free hand, goes out from under his tabard, and it rests right on the hilt of his sword. He says,
Are you going to
you
try to
mention
assault him?"
elves one more time. He says, I'll cut that
All right.
head right off of your shoulder.
We're leaving.
Wait,
We're leaving.
I think. Wait, but we could get them arrested. I whisper.
In his own house.
That's how things work.
All right,
He's a
I'm leaving.
noble.
I'm leaving.
We're nothing.
Okay.
So you're packing up. You're like, oh, I'm getting out of here. Is that right,
Say, I'm-
Thornburg?
Yeah. I start backing up. I just say, whatever you do, please,
Be careful.
Nightstone. The place is in danger. Look, actually, that reminds me. If you are going back, there's a snail in Daggerford.
Dagger.
It's probably gonna come attack you. So
This is what nonsense are you
Watch
saying,
out.
boy? What? A
And-
snail?
Yeah,
What's
it's
Daggerford
a-
got to do
it's
with
a-
Nightstone?
the Zentarum, they were occupying Nightstone, and we liberated it,
From the centaur.
and now they're angry, so they're probably gonna come back.
And now you think to
So-
mention all this information about the Zentarum?
Well,
You-
to be
you
honest, I did
liberated
not.
the town. Is that right?
Yes.
Yeah.
we did.
He says,
We care about that town. That's why I'm so worried.
I was there.
Unless
all right. So Zentarum are out, is what you're saying. There ain't no Zentarum in town no more.
No, but I can almost guarantee you they're gonna come back.
Wait, there is some Centarum for Thornburg. There's a few that we left behind, remember?
yeah, but stop.
Hey, what's all this whispering? You got something to say? You say to my face.
I was talking about shelves.
Yeah,
I'm gonna go check on Winter. He looks lonely.
Do you know the
I slowly
breathing
back
habits
away.
of green dragons?
When he says I'm gonna go check on shelves, that's it. You know, Lord Dresler just loses his shit, and he says, "Get out of here!"
Okay, I'm leaving.
He
All
says,
right,
I got
all right.
shit to do. He says, I never want to see your face again. He says to Kareem. And then he looks back at Thornburn and he says, you're a disgrace, boy. He says, you call yourself a Knight of Nightstone? He says, despicable. He says, you make your way with these folk here? He's practically shoving you out of the door at this point. He says, don't you ever come back. He says, I'm stripping you of your knighthood, Thornburg, Throken Wit.
Shh.
And with that, he shoves you onto the stairs and slams the door in your face.
Yeah.
I don't think he can technically do that anyway.
Yeah, I don't know about that.
I'm very conflicted. I'm so confused and upset.
He's a butthole.
Everything was going so good. Oh my goodness.
All right. You should have went with your butthole
Pretty
instinct.
sure you're fine.
I just slumped down in front of his house.
Whatever he says doesn't matter. It's what other people of the town think that matters.
When we get to Claire, everything will be fine.
Yes, we'll return, and the whole town will just be covered in elven arrows and death.
Yeah, probably. Or
God.
if they're not dead by the elves, they could be dead by the Zentarum. So
Oh,
we're going
God.
back to the dead
You're
town. So.
not. I don't think you're helping Thornburn here.
Oh, that's right.
Oh yeah.
I'm like pulling my hair.
Yeah, Thornburg, you feel devastated, man. This is a serious blow to you.
Yeah.
Ah, shit.
Well, shit.
Tapping Thornburn's shoulder.
I wanna.
Yeah. okay.
Winter walks over to you and gives you a lick on the cheek.
Do we have any magic we could use against this guy?
Should have asked Morak. He would have told me he was a butthole, and then we never would have gone, and we would have avoided all this situation.
Maybe there's still something we can do.
Can you erase
No,
his
it's
memories?
not worth it.
We could lure him into town and then start a fight with him, and so he attacks us and then get him arrested. Perfect. We're done. Right?
I can't do this. I'm a Knight of Nightstone. This is my
Shit.
lord. I gotta listen. Well, actually, wait a second.
Lady Velrosa.
He
Technically-
Wasn't he banned from the town?
Well, and he
Or
well, he just de-knighted me.
He can't really do that.
Yeah.
Well, and anyway, he's not my lord anymore. He doesn't want to be. So I say,
We kill
screw
him.
So, you're in. I just want to point out here, and this is the first time you're actually noticing it because you guys are kind of like standing in the front of his house, trying to console Thornburg. But up on like a board, just a few feet away, kind of like on the side of the street, there seems to be some sort of posting board, and clearly displayed there, and this catches Zinfel's eyes in particular, is a posting of the laws of Waterdeep.
Oh. Oh shit.
We do not want to lure him out. They have their biggest offenses are crimes against the lords. He's a lord.
What?
Here, come look.
Maybe we can get another lord.
What if the Lord assaults one of
Assault
us?
upon
Eh?
assault upon him is a very serious
Oh.
crime.
Interesting. Hmm.
Again, what if he assaults one of us? Huh?
You know, at that point, you should have just took out your hood. I mean, it could have been
No,
pretty
It
interesting
was
what
getting
would
really
happen.
fucking hot in there, but
All right, I'm gonna switch to Emmett here for a second. He was running errands. So Emmett and his errands. So Eric, are you there?
Oh my god, am I here?
I wish he wasn't.
What did I say?
I just can imagine how different that would have gone if Emmett was there.
Probably would have been better.
would have not given a shit and just fucking up and in his face.
Oh man. All right, Emmett. So what is it that you're doing?
So, I'm gonna dress up as my Rhodes Scholar outfit and go into the local university and research the names that the ogre thingers were referencing in the giant pantheon, and look into more rune research to see what's going on with that and the ordning.
Whoa, that's a whole lot of information. All right. So let's see here. Let's break this down one thing at a time. Did you say ogre singers?
No, I believe I said ogre thingers.
Ogre thingers. What are ogre thingers? Can you remind me of where you encountered ogre thingers?
It's a technical term for random ogres that we slaughtered in Sunshineville.
Golden Field.
Golden.
The ones with the contraptions on their backs that they use to fire goblins at the city?
No, the ones that were inside that were screaming a name. The name had a specific connotation.
You're referring to the 2 hill giants that got over the wall, right?
No, I'm referring to. I couldn't find it anywhere in the post-its, but there was a name, and it was an ogre deity or some kind of religious bent, is what you said. And then with my
It was Ga.
Yeah.
Or Ga. Or
It was
something
Ga.
like
Yeah, so
One of
actually
those.
those were the 2 hill giants that were on the inside of the wall.
Yeah, that wasn't too.
Yeah.
Oh, is that who it was? All right.
Yeah.
So
and
with
I
the
think the only information I gave you in regard to that was, it seems to be the name of another hill giant, perhaps, but
It
not
wasn't
not a deity or anything like that.
yeah, well, that was the way you were leaning, and you said that with my sage knowledge, I would know where to go and Waterdeep to look it up to find
Yes.
more and see how it fit in the
Yeah.
ordering.
So there is a place that you can go. It is, you know of it because of your sage background. It's called the Great Library, and what it is a temple that is dedicated to Agma.
So I'm wearing my Rhodes Scholar outfit.
Yeah. So just give me a second here to pull it up. My
Yeah,
nifty-
take your time.
my
Playing
nifty
string with the cat.
book. Yeah, so as I was saying, the Great Library is pretty huge. Trying to find out where exactly it is. C4. Would help if I could. It's in a place called the Font of Knowledge, which essentially is a temple. I believe it's in the North Ward. I'm not 100% sure on that because it doesn't actually say it in the book I have. But essentially, it's a temple that used to belong to a house called House Estelmer, and it was converted into this very large library and temple dedicated to Agma. Agma is the god of knowledge in the Forgotten Realms. And when you get there, you see that it is it's a large square house with multiple levels that is literally teeming with sages and researchers and other nerdy type of people that are moving in and out of it, periodically. When you get there, you can see that there are a significant number of scribes and scriveners and clerics and clerks that are doing their everyday business. There seems to be some sort of very prominently on the second floor of the library itself, there's some sort of bricked up archway that apparently used to be some sort of portal, but you don't know really anything about it unless you ask. But this is a great place to do research because it is a very large building filled with books. So, to answer your question in regard to the name of Ga, how long are you spending?
As long as it takes.
Okay. You're gonna be there a little while. But you ask
That's why I
around.
split off from the party.
Yeah. But you ask around. You spend the remainder of the day. This place is open 24 hours a day. Actually, no. I'm gonna say it closes at about 9 p.m. But you spend almost until closing time when you finally find some bit of esoteric knowledge in regard to a story that references a tribe of hell giants that make their home specifically within the Desserin Valley, who are led by a gluttonous, extremely obese hill giant female named Guh. And it's rumored that they have settled in the area known as Grud Hog. This is the only bit of information you find. But I'm going to reveal an area on the map.
Whoa.
So Grud Hog lies... I'll show you where it is exactly. To the northeast, yes, exactly. To the northeast of Wamford, about 60 miles.
Hmm. Like doing all the way down there.
Now, you can do some more research into Grud Hog if you wish, but you don't have time to do that today. I hear scratching. Scratching of a pencil.
Who's scratching a pencil?
That's what I hear.
Really? Because I've got my microphone muted and I'm typing on a keyboard.
Was it Susan?
No, I don't know what you're talking about.
All right, well, I'll take that. And were there any more general or specific references to the ordning? Or, I mean, I know what that is.
Yeah, you know what it is.
So,
Any of the information that is in the ordning journal entry is also stuff that you find out.
then I don't care. All right, Grudhog it is.
Yeah, I think I revealed that information initially to Zinfo, who managed to find a book on it in Zephyros' tower. So you have access to the same information now.
Okay, good, because it was pretty specific. But I thought, and stuff and things. Yeah. All right.
All right. So back to you guys. So you're still outside the Lord Nandar villa, his house, and it's roughly about, let's say about 4 p.m., maybe 3 p.m. in the afternoon. It turns dark at 7.
Well, I suppose we should go meet Emin at that temple.
Good.
I wonder, maybe I could send someone, some kind of like messenger, to just warn them that Lord Butthole's on his way.
We
Well, you're
Everything's
in
going
Waterdeep, so if there's any place that you can easily get a message out, it would be here. Why don't we take a little break and come back at 10:05?
Okay.
Sounds good.
Can do.
All right.
Talk to you then.
He hasn't woken up, right? Or he did once. Is he okay?
Yeah, I just patted his bum for like 8 minutes. He has dirt, he hasn't.
You're timing the
Oh yeah, I'm
bombs,
telling
though.
you.
I murdered the garlic bug. Yeah, that's basically comes with everything.
Hmm. Huh.
So you're winning. But it's for safety.
Is the Nandar family book somewhere in the Flare folder? Their heritage?
I think so.
It's in the chapter 1 notes.
Okay.
Lineage. It's right under
Oh, there
Morak's
you go.
quest.
I'll read it. Maybe there's something in here we can use. Hmm.
Yeah, I don't think there's much we can do. I think he's going back.
Maybe we have his tax records. Maybe maybe he's done some tax evasion.
A bottle of lubricating oil and all the oil.
I'm sure there's something. Maybe we can like look around his house.
So like lube up the blades. So
How did he get the place in the first place?
How did he get what?
The home here at
The other guy, the butler, said it was our family house, so it's probably been there for a while. They probably, they're like a rich bull family, I wouldn't be surprised.
After decade of the war which took place, the inhabitants of the village Nightstone, led by Lord Dresden Nandar from Waterdeep, started making continuous for it. Hunting lodge established there by House Nandar, two centuries. Oh, he hunted the animals to extinction. Hmm.
And you put it on the blades so that when the blades are pushed back and forth, it'll do it easier.
Hmm. And he vowed never to come back.
Yeah, no, they're gonna be fucked.
In my eye. Ah. Ah.
Well, actually, the agreement that Velros made with the elves was that they would never make any hunter expeditions. It didn't specifically talk about Lord Dressel.
It does.
Even
It's-
though they
he
don't
swore
like
he would
him.
never return. That was part of the deal.
Yeah, they said that. He said that when we were in the game. He just mentioned it because it's another thing. That makes sense. It's part of the deal.
To move on and hope that he doesn't fuck everything up.
Well, it's not like he can make the people of Nightstone hate you. You're the one who's lived there the whole
Yeah,
for
I'm
most of the time.
Yeah, I'm not worried. I'm not worried about that. The people love Thornburg. I'm just worried that he's gonna go start a war
Fuck
with
up
the elves.
the town.
But fuck it.
The elves don't like Morak or him. But Morak regretted it. Pretty sure he doesn't.
Yeah. Yeah,
Sorry
we'll see.
for-
Hopefully,
sorry for
he
being a
can't,
little
you know.
It didn't sound like he wanted to come back, according to the book.
Who are we talking about? Bless you.
Dresden. We were just scheming, but I think we're just
I was gonna
move
play it
on.
out like, are you sure you want to go back? Are you sure it's safe? Kind of thing, and see, kind of he could psych himself out of going. But I didn't want to bring attention to myself.
Yeah.
I just like was not, you know, he was my lord. I felt like I couldn't say no to him. I just felt like an idiot for even saying anything to him. But, you know, Thornburg learned his lesson today about nobles.
They're assholes. I mean, buttholes.
rank.
They're buttholes. That's funner to say than assholes.
Buttholes is pretty fun to say.
All right. So let's see. If I remember, you guys said you were going to the Plinth. Is that right?
Yep.
Right, so the Plinth lies in the trade ward.
I am not going with them.
You're not going with them. What the?
No. They can go to the Plinth. It's too far.
Where are you headed,
It's a
Tinbo?
couple hours travel.
Where are you going?
I'm gonna drop in on that Gilhelm, Talabat, and then I'm going to make my way to the castle. Castle Waterdeep, I guess.
How many miles across is big? I guess is this town, city?
It's the biggest city in all the realms.
Yeah, it's pretty big. It's I'll tell you right now. Let me just move over to that map. I think I
Didn't I technically go through this city a little bit when
Yeah.
I came over?
Well, you arrived in the dock ward, and then like you literally went from there directly
To
to
Nightstone.
Nightstone.
Right.
So you didn't really explore the city or have an opportunity to do that.
Okay.
In terms of size, according to my map here, because that's not the scale.
It's not 64 feet wide.
Yeah, I think it's pretty big. I'm trying to find a nice map where, if my file stops scrolling here. Oh, come on.
Probably roughly equivalent to Los Angeles.
No, it's definitely not that big. I would say it's at least 3 miles. Maybe less than that. Yeah. The City of the Dead, for a good reference point, the City of the Dead is maybe about 1,500 feet wide. So if you use that as a guide, this, you know, at that part in the middle of the city, from across the Castle Ward, is only really about, I would say, about a mile. So if that's a mile, and then from end to end, the city is maybe 3 miles. Does that make sense? So it's about a mile by 3 miles. And by the way, this part over here, this is a large mountain, as you can tell.
Oh,
If you scroll down.
cool.
If you look at the night version of Waterdeep, you'll see the mountain.
Yeah. I see it.
Ah. So Zinfel's leaving us. And where are we headed? The trade war?
You were headed
We're
to the
head-
trade war
yeah.
to go to the Plinth. But I mean, unless you don't want to go with Zinfel, then yeah, she'll separate off from the group. But keep in mind, Zinfel, it's about 4 p.m.
Yes.
So you can get there a little bit quicker. You know, there are carriages with horses that can be rented, but I've assumed that you guys have been trekking in on foot.
I'm gonna split the group too. I'm gonna go to the City of the Dead.
You want to visit a graveyard?
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay. All right.
Well,
Is there any specific thing you want to do there, or you just want to walk around?
Yeah, I just want to chill out, see if anyone, it's cool.
All right. Okay, so I guess I'll do.
You
I'll
can get to me
do
later.
I'll do Zinfel first because you're in the North Ward now. So you ask around, you try to find out where the Talabat residence is.
Yes.
Is that right?
Yes. Gilhelm Talabat.
All right, give me a second here. Okay, so he's got an impressive villa on the eastern edge of the ward. From what you could tell, it is... The directions you're given say that it is next to an inn, a very large tavern and inn called the House of the Golden Tiger, which is a historic building in the southwest corner of the ward. And southeast corner of the ward. And his house is right by it. And apparently, from what you hear about Talabat's reputation, when you start asking around, is, "Oh, are you going to the party tonight? Are you a card player?" Questions like that.
Yeah, sure. I love a good game.
But otherwise, the guards are generally pretty helpful toward you, and they're able to provide you the directions you need. It does take you about an hour to get there, so when you arrive at about 5 p.m., you find this interesting-looking house that looks like it's right out of, New Orleans. It's got multiple levels, balconies. You can kind of hear. You can see that there's a lot of people going in and out. They look like they're, servants and other workers, and there's deliveries being made. And standing outside, or kind of in the courtyard of the central part of the villa, you can see a rather, like I said, what was described to you, a foppish-looking man, who appears to be maybe in his mid-30s to late 30s. And he's got black hair. He's really good-looking, and he's actually holding a goblet of wine, and he's dressed in. I'll just show you what he looks like rather than describing what he's wearing.
Very nice.
So that's the scene right now. So it's up to you on what you want to do.
I'll go in, or I'll go up, and
Sure. He looks at you and he says, "Well, you're here early." He says,
Well-
"I wasn't expecting the adventuring Stirpers to get here yet, but sure. I can put you in a room if you need."
no, I actually came to before the party to talk to you. I heard that you are part of the Lord's Alliance.
He says, "Wait a minute, you're not one of the adventuring Stirpers?" He gets
No,
really
no.
serious. He kind of looks a little embarrassed.
There's nothing wrong with that, but no, I'm not one.
Oh, I just, I saw the armor and the sword, and I just, assumed that you were here to work tonight. But, sorry. Hi, nice to meet you. I'm Lord Wilhelm. And he extends out his hand.
Tell me who you are. That was funny.
Pleasure is all mine. I am Dimfell Emberbrand of Neverwinter.
Do you shake his hand?
Yes, I kiss it.
Oh, you
Bow
kiss it?
before him, I kiss. Yes.
He says, "Well, that's unexpected. Not every day a lady's kissing a lord's hand." He says, "I was about to kiss yours, miss."
You may, if you like.
He gives a bright flash of a smile and brilliant, straight, white teeth. And like I said, he's extremely good looking, but probably about twice your age. And he bows and kisses the top of your hand gently. He says, "So," he says, "what brings you all the way from?"
Neverwinter.
He says, "Neverwinter. I'm from there myself." He says, "Wait a minute. You said Emberbrand was your family name?"
That is correct.
He says, "No." He says, "You're bookbinders, right? Bookmakers? Is that what your family does?" Hold on a second. I know you have some sort of print shop, right, in your family? Give me a minute.
Yes, they're paper makers. My mother.
I'm dropping the ball here as a DM.
It's all right.
Give me 1 second. Let me pull up your file here. He says, "Oh, paper makers. That's right. Snow Branch Paper Mill." He says, "Oh, I'm quite familiar with your father, Ivaro. Was an adventurer in his day too."
Yes, he won't put up his cloak yet, though. He's still out and about.
He says, "Really? He's still carrying around that old rapier on his hip? What do he call it? Some weird name like punctuation?"
Why, yes.
He says, "That's a pretty cool name for a sword." He says, "So, what do I owe the pleasure?"
Well,
He says, "And you must be parched. Let's get you a drink." And he snaps his finger at a couple of servants, and they bring over a cool glass of wine to you.
oh, how very kind. But I'm here. Me and my company have encountered many giants of late, and we're quite curious about the giants that were in here 2 days ago. There's giants all over in the past several towns that I've been to, and I'm pretty concerned that this is a major issue in the north, and I wanted to know that if the Lord's Alliance was aware of it.
He says, "Giants, terrible business." He says, "Well, of course the Lord's Alliance is aware of it, but I'm not really sure I understand why that's any business of yours."
Well, I have first encountered some giants in Nightstone, and then again in Golden Fields, And then I come to Waterdeep, and here Cloud Giants have just left. It just seems that I've been constantly in contact with giants. Oh yes, and then there was this floating around in a cloud castle with a nice cloud giant named Zephyros, who said that the ordning is shattered and
You're going on quite the tangent there, little lady. He says,
Oh. Sorry.
aren't you a little far from home? He says, I mean, I can see that obviously you take after your father's adventuring roots, but all this business about giants, why don't you lay a load off? Are you even part of a adventuring group? Or are you doing this all on your lonesome?
No, I am a part of the Stonesworn. Me and my fellows have fought off hill giants and ogres and goblins, but they're not giant type.
He says, really? He says, well, I could sure use someone like you around, or at least the Lord's Alliance can. He says, where are your companions now?
They're running around making a mess of things.
He says, well, there's a lot to do in the City of Splendors. He says, tell you what, why don't we have a conversation later tonight? He says, Talabat Manor is my villa, as you know, and, well, we hold a weekly Vice Club, a gambling night. He says, here in the villa, and tonight happens to be when we're holding our weekly party. He says, how about I extend you and your companions an invite, and you can come on by and enjoy yourselves. I'll even give you a comp of, let's say, 25 gold pieces, free to spend and gamble as you wish. That's to each of you.
Very generous.
A favor to your father. He says, good man he was, so sure, why not?
Thank you so much, my lord.
He says, I'll think nothing of it. How many of you will be coming?
We are 5 altogether.
He says,
plus an elk, but I don't think he's coming. Well,
an elk.
You have stabling for a giant elk.
A giant elk.
Regular sized elk.
Oh.
Maybe a little bigger than average.
A man-goring elk whose horns are ever buddied.
Is it safe to have
with our
around?
enemy.
Because I do have a stable. You can stick the elk in there if that's alright.
She's quite kind, yes.
He says, you know what, tell my head butler over there, Gregory, that all the details, and feel free to come by. Party starts at nightfall. He says, but don't get here too early. He says, kind of looks bad.
Understood.
Oh, and whatever you do, if you have any other ladies in your party, just make sure that you tell the front doorman that you're not the adventuring strippers. He says that completely
I will
serious.
make a note of it. Should we have badges?
He says, no. The head butler, Gregory, will take your names. So just give him your names at the door.
Very well, thank you.
He says, I'm looking forward to seeing you again tonight.
And you as well.
He gives you a polite bow, and he says, all right. And then he goes back to, coordinating the events of the pre-party, or getting the party ready for tonight.
Perfect.
And you're left there holding like a goblet of wine. Like, oh, okay.
Drinking
a
water.
guy with a very neat mustache and spectacles comes on over to you, graying hair atop his head, and he's dressed like a butler. And he says,
Gregory,
my name is
Aston?
Gregory. I am Lord Talabat's butler. I hear that you've been invited to our party tonight.
Yes, and I have some guests.
Very well.
Thornburg, Kareem,
This is,
Zerana.
their names: Thornburg, Kareem, Zerano,
And Emin.
Emin. He says, and you all?
Zinfel.
Yes. And you're to be provided a stipend of 25 gold. For
Yes,
gambling, of course.
of course.
Very well.
We expect extra if we're stripping.
He says, of course.
Kareem is quite the catwalk walker.
Of course. Alright. Very well. The party starts promptly at 7 o'clock. Oh, and it is high attire. But actually, if you are the adventuring strippers, do not worry.
Oh God. This is gonna be an interesting party.
All right. So you're done. I'm gonna move on to Kareem now, who said he was going to the City of the Dead. Are you walking there?
Yeah.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah.
So there's
Fastly.
only one actual entrance into the City of the Dead, which is right here on the map.
Okay.
Let me just
I head
pull it
there.
up here.
Oh, Joe, I had a question about. You said the whole city was 3 miles from like top to bottom.
Top to bottom, yeah.
And how long would it take to walk through that?
Considering that you've never been here before, it would take a little time because you would need to navigate the streets, and it's easy to get
okay.
lost.
Got it.
Yeah, that's why I'm saying it takes so long. But
Yeah. I was just wondering, but that makes total sense. Cool.
so I mean, it would take you.
Yeah, I would be way lost.
So it takes you like an hour, 2 hours to get to the City of the Dead, Kareem.
Okay.
So when you approach, from what you could tell, there is a single entrance to the City of the Dead, which, as I said, is the only legal cemetery in Waterdeep. You see that there are a number of pathways that meander through the green space around stately mausoleums and statues. And most of them, from what you could tell, appear to be crypts to various wealthy families. You see that there are a number of visitors here, but also there's interesting sights. You can tell that there is some sort of kind of like records hall at the entrance by the gate that is called literally the Records Hall.
Okay.
And from what you could tell, there are a number of priests dressed in gray robes, adorned with scythes that they seem to be walking with, or some of them are armed, some of them are not. And they also appear to be, like they have rope belts, so they're some sort of monks. And you can tell that the symbol on them appears to be a skeletal hand holding an upright balance scale.
Would I know what that means?
You can make a religion check, but considering you're not, yeah, all right. So with an 18, you can tell that belongs to the that is the Church of Kelemvor, which is the god of the dead.
Interesting. Do I know if it's like a good or bad deity or?
So Kelemvor is a neutral
Okay.
deity, not evil. In fact, the priests of Kelmor, from what you know, particularly make it their mission to battle undead.
Ah, okay. The zombie killer.
Yeah, they're zombie killers. But they maintain some sort of record of hall here at the entrance. So, I mean, it's up to you what you want to do here, but if all you're going to do is visit the cemetery and kind of stroll around, you're free to do that.
Yeah. Is there, like, I heard that there were residents here who have made it there. I'm looking for them.
Yeah.
The bums?
I'm looking for those people.
Yeah, sure. So you can see that some of the poorer families seem to be living in very small living spaces that were once previously tombs. And I mean, these people, they look like very small families, or maybe like a single or couple of groups that seem to have turned those tombs into, like I said, living spaces. And they're kind of scattered throughout the cemetery itself.
Okay.
They're not like unified like a community, unless you want to say that they're, you know, a deader, somebody who lives in the city of the dead. But there's other places here too, which is interesting. As you're walking around, you find a tomb called the Road's End, which seems to be some final resting place for travelers that die within the city. You find a vast mausoleum with a row of low steps that leads up to high metal grates, known as the House of the Homeless, which is basically where...
That's ironic. It's an oxymoron.
The House of the Homeless, yeah.
Yeah.
From what it looks to you, it appears to be some sort of entrance to some sort of underground cavern.
Ooh.
And you notice that there's a sign outside of it that says "Property of the Guild of Chandlers and Lamplighters."
Do I know anything?
Here
do I
lie
know-
all the dead of Waterdeep who do not merit or do not own a place in any other tomb. Is the sign that is outside that place.
The names that they said, the guild names or whatever the heck that was. Do I know anything about them?
No, considering you're not from here, but you have heard, you know, just in passing, that guilds in Waterdeep are very prominent. Guilds actually hold a lot of power within the city itself. I mean, you're just barely scratching the surface. You don't know any of the specific guilds, but this one is a specific guild name.
What was the name again?
The Guild of Chandlers and Lamplighters.
Chandlers and Lamplighters. Interesting.
And there's a few other interesting places here as well. You find a really, really big stone sculpture that depicts a circle of 3 men and 2 women striking down trolls, goblins, orcs, and barbarians. That's called the Warrior's Monument, and it's 60 feet tall.
Ooh. Is there anyone praying around it?
No. I mean, nobody's hanging around it at the moment. You also notice that there's a griffin rider riding above the warriors and holding a and what looks like they're spearing some sort of evil-looking priest
Interesting.
or cultist.
Can I touch it?
You can touch the base of the statue, yeah.
I touch it.
Sure. It's made of stone. It's impressive looking, but that's about it. And then there's a number of other, you know, landmarks. And if you want, I can continue to go into more detail.
Yeah, why not? On this.
How long are you planning on spending here? Because it is quickly approaching dusk.
I probably want to head back to the group wherever we were supposed to meet. I think we were heading towards the castle. Where were we heading, guys? Fuck. I'm
Most
lost.
of the group's going to the plinth. Last I heard.
Yeah.
Kareem got lost in City
Are you
of
gonna
Dead
go?
Bodies.
Yeah, I'll head there. Like, no.
So,
Shit.
as you're walking around, you get the impression that there are eyes following you, Kareem.
Oh.
And you get this feeling that makes you very uncomfortable, like you're being followed.
Is there guards around?
No.
No?
No. And you realize as you're looking around at your surroundings that you're in a particular section of the graveyard that doesn't look like it's very open. It's kind of enclosed and almost stifling feeling and claustrophobic because the pathways that you're walking in between leaves very little to look around, very little opportunity or avenue to look around.
I take out my stone pipe.
Okay, as you take out your stone pipe, you see a you hear actually you see some ruffian-looking fellow. He's wearing armor, and he's dressed in what looks like rags, and he looks dirty, and his cheeks are kind of sunken, and his eyes are deep set and with dark circles under them. And he says, "Hey, you there?" He says, "What you doing in the city of the dead, boy?" And you notice that he's got a hand behind his back.
What? What do you mean, like a hand behind his back?
Like his hand
Explain.
is behind his back as if he's holding something.
Just walking around, looking at the scenery.
You're not from around here, are you?
No, are you from around here?
Yes, I am. He says, I see that you're away from your little group.
I don't know what you're talking about. I'm
He
here
says,
alone.
"Don't play dumb with me, Mohorandi." He says, "My boss wants you out of town tonight. Don't make me use this on you." And he pulls out a short sword from behind his back. And from what you could tell, it's slick with some sort of black substance on the blade.
Can I do an insight check and see if this guy is like...
You don't need to make... sure, you go ahead and make an insight check.
Can I see if he's, how...
Ooh, that's really good.
How combat ready is this guy? Is he somebody who would put up a really good fight?
This guy looks wiry. He looks like wiry and leanly muscled. You could tell that he's clearly a man who is much younger than he looks. Probably a life of hard drinking or
hard drinking.
Yeah, maybe a life of hard drinking or hard working.
Hard drinking. Got it.
Maybe have made made him like this.
My friend, I have a gift for you.
He says, "I don't want your gifts, Mohorandi." He says, "My boss just wants you out of town, and tonight, you and your friends. You make sure you get it done, or you're gonna get a knife in your belly."
Wait, we can work something out here.
He says, "Ain't no working out," and he waves the short sword at you. And when he says that, you actually now notice that there's another guy behind you. This guy's bigger and taller. You can see that he's more muscular. He's got a thick black beard that covers like half of his face and really, really small beady eyes. And otherwise he appears like he's going bald. And he's dressed in much the same way, like leathers. And from what you can see, he's got he doesn't have any weapons out, but he's got these big burly hands that grab you, or not grab you, but are like about to grab you up from behind. And he says, you kind of like bump into him as like, you just begin to notice that the guy's behind you. And this guy in front of you that's waving the blade, he says, "I ain't taking any of your drinks." He says, "Antinous Torm wants you out of here, and you're gonna get going."
Antinous.
Hmm. Are you sure, my friend? I packed my lovely stone pipe with tobacco and I light it.
He says, "Oh, are you stupid or something?" He says, "You know
They
what?"
have told me this before.
All right, roll me initiative, my friend. Before you do
Oh
that,
shit!
Winter's ready.
don't need to have a. We don't need a map for this.
I don't want to kill people.
You
That
want to kill
happened.
people.
Non-lethal. You can do non-lethal damage.
Yeah.
Hmm. We are in a graveyard, though.
All right. So I'm gonna call this guy Assassin 1. And the other guy is gonna be Assassin 2.
Ooh, I have an idea.
That's the plan.
All right. Well, the guy in front of you, the wiry-looking guy, he takes a sword and he thrusts it at your belly.
Okay. I dodge.
Now, you're not surprised, but it is definitely what's it called? He's very quick, is what I should say. So just give me a second. So, wow. Just setting up a little quick map here so I can keep track of stuff. Alright. Let's see. Can you see, you should be able to see the names of the guys. Right? As Assassin 1 and Assassin 2?
Yep.
Okay, good. So like I said, the big burly guy's behind you, the other one's in front of you. Number 1. Man, what the hell? There you go. That's what I was looking for. Alright, so here it goes. Tries to stab you with a short sword there. Gets an AC 22.
Holy shit. Yeah, he hits.
Yeah, and you're gonna have to make me a saving throw. DC 15 Constitution save.
God damn.
Yep.
Oh no.
And he
Okay.
Oh.
also deals an extra 4d6. So you pass your save, but you do take 21 damage as he stabs you in the gut with a short sword. You see the black ichor on that blade, and it really creeps you out because you just got, sort of impaled with it for a brief moment. And then the other guy, you hear the sheath of his blade as well, and he stabs it into your back.
He attempts.
He attempts to,
Miss.
but he misses. Oh, and I forgot to say, actually, they each get 2 attacks. Sorry about that.
Oh, okay.
So the guy, that second attack, the 15 misses you. That was from the guy in the front. The guy behind you rolled a 12 and a 9, so they both miss you.
Okay.
So now it is your turn.
My friends! Ugh, you don't want to do this! I use my action to yell at the top of my lungs
Oh,
using
God.
my new War Leader
Oh my
ability,
gosh. In the middle of the city.
Which-
dead.
which causes my voice to carry up to 300 feet. Assassins! Guards! Help!
Sure. So
Oh my God.
that will be your action, though.
And then for my bonus action,
Sid booms. These guys are taken aback by the sudden loudness of your voice. The other guy says,
I'm gonna use my bonus action to use my to use my second wind. So that's gonna be a 1d6 plus 6.
1d10.
Or sorry, 1d10. I mean. So I get 13 health points back.
Yes.
So how many did I lose the first time? I'm sorry. It was
16 now?
21, and then I gained back 13.
Yeah, you took a total of 21.
So that's
All right.
8 damage.
So with that, are you doing anything else?
I mean, I yelled. That was my action and my
No.
bonus action. So.
Okay. So
Everything
they then disengage from you, and they run out of the current little area between the tombs where this combat suddenly started, and they quickly disappear behind corners, and they look like they went in separate directions.
Okay, so they just start. Is that their turn?
Yeah, that's their turn. They're no longer on the map. Like, you don't immediately see them.
Okay.
It's
I
up to you if
use
you
a
want to
dodge
chase
action.
them, but they're not around you anymore.
Nah. I'm gonna just use a dodge action and then start walking slowly out of this area.
Yeah, sure.
With my pipe, just
So-
smoking.
So you're walking. I mean, your gut hurts because you just were stabbed with a blade.
Yeah.
But you're okay because you kind of rub some dirt on it, whatever the case is. But when you turn the corner, from this little section, you don't see those two guys anywhere, and nobody came to your aid either.
Silly assassins.
But they definitely did mention to you that.
Yeah.
If you recall what I said. All right. So
My name.
Yeah. So I'm gonna move over to Thornburr and Zorana.
All right.
What are you guys doing?
You were headed to the plinth, right? Just with
Yep.
Winter and Arton.
That's what I hope you went. I'm going to send a messenger to you, inviting you to a party. If I can find a messenger.
I'm just gonna kind of tell Arton, after meeting that butthole, it was a real pleasure to meet you, Arton. You're a
Yeah,
splendid
man.
guy. You know that?
Yeah, well, all us lords aren't. I'm a really nice guy, actually. It's just my, this condition's kind of got me all
I can't blame you.
bottled
It
up.
sucks.
He says.
Yeah, we've been pretty mean to you. I'm sorry about that. You don't really deserve it. You're in a bad position yourself.
He kind of looks like taken aback by your apology, and he says, I guess don't mention it. I mean, you are helping me out, and you've been doing good by me so far, so he just kind of shrugs in the water. Thanks.
Yeah, we'll take care of you, buddy. Don't worry about it.
I hope so. Kind of feel a little vulnerable being naked in a barrel full of water, dragged around town in a cart being led by an elk, but yeah, sure.
Hey, that's as safe as you could possibly be right now.
Yeah, I feel totally safe. You just left me out in the street here, completely embarrassed. Sure. I only had a couple of guards walk up to me, and then when they saw their face, they just ran the other way. But yeah, I feel good.
See? Safe. No one will bother you. Your life is in good hands. I'll pat Winter's butt.
Winter just nods his head slowly, licks his lips. So you guys are headed toward the plinth, yeah?
Yes.
Yeah.
All right.
As we're walking, I say, Zorana, do you
Yeah.
worship a god?
Yes. Fuck.
Sylvanas.
Thank you. I knew the name. I'm a follower of Sylvanas.
Oh. I don't know that much about Sylvanas. What's his thing?
He is the Oak Father. Kind of one of
Oh,
the
that's a cool name.
greater gods of nature and life and the forest.
Yeah.
One of the Druidic
Yeah.
gods you've probably heard of.
Yeah, I don't know. I didn't read much. I just heard about my guy. I don't really know much about any of the other gods, to be honest.
I just respect all gods, really.
Yeah, yours
A god is
sounds
a god. You can't
sounds
fuck with
pretty
him.
cool. Sounds good. Life's good. I like that.
It is indeed.
I like the forest.
I like me some trees too.
All right.
Well, we'll see what kind of things they can tell us here. Have you ever been to a temple? I've only been to the Ilmater one.
Only whatever druids concocted up that they could call temples in a forest. Pretty much it.
Yeah, that's pretty crazy. I can't even imagine.
It's
All
not
right,
bad.
well, let's go then.
All
See
right.
what we got.
So, getting to the plinth takes you about, I'd say, about a couple hours, because it's in the trade ward. And when you arrive, so this ward is entirely dedicated to commerce. Basically, you see it retains the hustle and bustle of a marketplace, but as it's approaching night, because it's about 6 o'clock when you arrive, you can see that the shops are closing up and people are getting their food for dinner. So there's a significant amount of foot traffic here as well. And the plinth itself looks like what can best be described as a wizard's tower. You notice that there are a number of priests there, or maybe worshippers, holding a variety of like little statuettes or holy symbols and doing a number of different prayers. From what you could tell, every god is worshipped here. You see that the tower itself resembles a tall, thin pyramid with the top cut off. And there are small balconies that spiral around the tower in a slow descent. You don't see any sacrifices or anything crazy like that being done, bless you. But you do see that that generally there aren't any wealthy or powerful looking people here. It looks like it more caters to the common folk. And if there's anybody that's in charge here, you have no idea. Because to you, this place looks more like a multi-god shrine than an actual formal temple with priests walking around doing work.
That's what I would imagine.
Yeah. So, I mean, in terms of like picking this as a spot to wait, It's a good landmark, but there really isn't any place for you to actually like, sit down and rest. Although I would say that there are stalls nearby that are selling food to the worshippers, but they're more like street stalls that you would find in like a touristy area or New York or something like that. Things that people can
I
push on
look-
carts and they sell like roasted chestnuts or meat on a stick.
Yeah. If I look around, can I see anyone wearing Ilmater's holy symbol?
Yes, yes. You can see. Yeah, make me a perception check. And if Zorana wants to
Okay.
help you, she can give you advantage.
I can help you look for. Do you see anyone?
Yeah,
with
Zorana,
Ilmater?
do you see anyone with an Ilmater around here?
Let's see.
Alright, so I have
Helping him
advantage.
look.
Alright. Oh, give me 1 second. Perception. $21.
Okay, 1 second. So 21. You're definitely able to find. Just want to add some music here. You're definitely able to find a man on the ground, kneeling, facing toward the plinth. He's got a what looks like a cat of nine tails, and he seems to be flagellating himself. His robe is around his, like the upper half of his robe is put down, or I guess taken off, so that it's kind of like hanging around his waist. And like I said, he's kneeling, facing toward the plinth, and he's got like a cat of nine tails that he's flagellating his back with. But you can clearly tell that he's wearing a holy symbol dedicated to Ilmater, which is the two hands bound by rope around his neck.
Oh, look, there's someone.
I look at him and I say, wow, I've never seen that before. Heral never taught me that kind of worship.
And as you're looking at him, you see that he's got his eyes closed. He seems to be praying under his breath, so he's barely speaking, and he doesn't seem to be beating himself very hard, but he is definitely drawing red lines on his back, not bloody lines, but just red lines, and he doesn't even notice you as you're standing there, because he's got his eyes closed.
I slowly approach him and I just say quietly, "Hail Ilmater."
Okay.
And
So
I
he stops what he's doing, and his eyes open up to you, and he says, Ilmater, hail? He says, no, that's all wrong. We don't worship Ilmater that way, my son. And now that you're looking closely at this guy, you can tell that he is almost to the point of being emaciated. His hair is very sparse. It's brown. He looks older than his years, but that's probably from all the suffering he's done. He looks kind of dirty. He's got no shoes, and he smells very strongly of sweat and outdoors.
I'm sorry.
He says, "Sorry? Sorry for what?"
Well, I'm from a small town. I don't know. You probably know an awful lot about worship, and this is a mighty fine temple.
He says, "The plinth is the temple to all gods." He says, "It is the place where I am welcome." He says, "I can see that you are a fellow worshipper." He says, "My name is Brother Jacob."
Well, It's a pleasure to meet you, brother. My name is Thornbur Throkenwit, and this is my companion Zerana.
Pleasure.
He stands up and he takes the his robe and he puts it back over his shoulders, and he tucks the cat o' nine tails under his arm and he says, "My greetings to you." He says, "Is there something I can help you with? Perhaps I should show you the way to worship Ilmater." And he shoves his cat o' nine tails forward.
I would be much obliged. But first,
Beating you.
I'm always looking for new ways to show my love. Ilmater is a powerful force in my life, and anyway, we have a problem, and we're looking for help. Our friend here has a terrible affliction, is suffering deeply, and I want to help.
His eyes dart to the
alleviate.
elk in the cart behind you, and he says, "Oh, this poor man." And he walks up to him and he takes a closer look, and Arten is just looking at him like very suspiciously. His eyes are all narrowed, like he doesn't like this guy at all. And he says, "Thornbur, are you sure about this?" And Brother Jacob just says, "Oh, he looks like he's in dire straits." He says, "What's wrong with him?"
Someone explained it to me, but I don't really understand it.
He's suffering possibly from an affliction of an aboleth.
A what? All I heard was suffering and affliction. He says, but I have no idea what an aboleth is. Is that the name of his disease?
Probably related to it?
Oh, I think you must bring your friend to Father Eudarian.
Hmm.
All right.
He says,
Where-
Where?
Yeah, where would I find this
Well,
Father
these days
Eudarian?
he makes his rounds at the field ward, tending to the poor that have settled in that area to the north. He says, but I know his temple's not far from here.
We were just up north. Man, we don't know how to get around this city at all, I will tell you.
I generally hang around in cities.
I am so overwhelmed. Oh my lord.
Father Eudarian runs the Saint Solars, the twice martyred orphanage and hospital.
Would you say he knows of any advanced healing?
Oh yes. Father Eudarian is very skilled in the healing arts. He normally has the ward is located in the South Ward, not far from here at all. I can lead you there if you wish. Perhaps Father Eudarian will return at night.
Is he usually gone in the daytime?
Thornbur, you get the impression that this guy is very eager to lead you to Father Eudarian. And it kind of like throws you a little off.
So, why do we want to go there at night?
He says, well, that's when Father Eudarian returns. He says, but I can lead you there. I can make the introduction, he says with a very, very enthusiastic smile. That kind of creeps you out because his eyes are like really wide.
Is this
Busy
guy?
in the daytime?
Yeah, what's he do during the day?
I told you already. He tends to the sick and poor in the field ward.
Oh yeah,
Oh yeah, okay, that keeps him busy. Okay, that makes sense.
fair enough.
Well, we got to meet our friends.
Oh,
Yeah, we
you
can
have
wait
more?
for.
More
Yeah, we gotta-
worshippers of Ilmater? Blessed be his name.
Yeah, they're
Not necessarily.
they're working on it, you know. It's a process.
They're working on it.
Gotta hand out the pamphlets, man. We're a couple sessions in.
Well, bring
I
them
know.
here. He says, there's still light yet, and Father Udarian probably won't return to the orphanage until, I'd say close to midnight.
We have like so
Oh,
many things
well.
to do.
Well, yeah, you know,
It's
I'd
about,
love
it's
to,
about
but
6:30 now.
I gotta go meet him. One of them's coming here. Well,
We could probably
he'll
meet
figure
up
it out.
and then head there tonight. You know?
Yes, yes. I think that would be very pleasant indeed. He says, I will wait here for you and then lead you.
Much appreciated.
Oh, the pleasure is all mine. He says, anything I could do to alleviate your suffering in trying to find the place. He
Oh,
just
yes.
smiles like,
Yes, we'll gather the rest of the party, and we'll meet you here, Brother Jacob.
that sounds most excellent. Thank you, thank you. And he takes your hands and he shakes them vigorously and bows multiple times. When he touches your hands, they're very grimy.
You know what I'm thinking, Zorana? I think I might stay back and learn some. Yeah, you know, I've had my fill of nobles today. I don't really want to meet this Lady Silverhand. I'm kind of dreading it. And
I can
I
understand.
might just meet you at that hotel. I mean, I know we're splitting ways like,
Crazy.
I don't know. I don't have a good analogy for that, but
Like trees to an axe.
sure. Surprising to hear that one from you, but sure.
It's pretty dark.
It happens.
Yeah, I'm thinking I'm going to stay back with Brother Jacob here. You know, I can't pass up this opportunity to learn some ways to worship here.
Oh, yes. I have many ways I can teach you, Thornburg. He says, very well. We will see you later. It was a pleasure making your acquaintance, and he gives you a bow.
To you as well. And where exactly were the rest of the party meet? Wait, were we actually meeting at the or were...
Yeah,
I
you're-
thought we
you're
were all
com-
meeting here.
So last you parted, you decided to meet at the plinth.
Yeah.
Nobody really specified a time.
Well, the
Did we say plinth? I thought we were going to the castle ward.
It was a plinth.
Emin was coming to the plinth, but yeah, Kareem, you were going to go to the castle.
Yeah. That's where I thought we were going.
Yeah, I thought Kareem and Zinfeld were going to the castle, but then we hadn't made that plan yet when we saw Emin. When Emin left us, so I think he was going to come to the plinth. But he's a smart guy.
Well, speaking of Emin, because Eric hasn't really gotten much opportunity to say or do anything today, and I'm sorry for that, Eric, but I'm going to say that you're not at the library till 9 p.m. We're going to say that at this point, 6:30 in the evening, you're finished doing your research and the library is closing up.
That's fine. I have nothing constructive to add.
Okay then. Well, I mean, it's up to you what you want to do next, now that your time at the library is over, though.
I'll head back to the plinth, where I said I'd meet everybody.
Okay. So why don't we just say that you come upon Thornburn and Zorana talking to some strange priest. Well, not strange, but dirty-looking priest of Olympia.
I just go stand in the center of the plinth and wait till they're done.
Oh, Emin. Hey, how'd it go?
Good. There seems to be less of you.
Yeah, they had.
About half of us.
They got inspired by your solo mission idea, and we kind of split up like trees to an axe.
Oh, so you're not around Brother Jacob at this point, right? Like you parted from him?
Yeah.
Talk to Emmett?
Yeah, we said
Yeah,
we'd meet up.
Okay.
We just
well,
I just kind of walked away and started waving it, and then
Sure. Well, Brother Jacob went back to kneeling and flagellating himself.
Perfect.
Great.
So,
Oh.
how was your meeting with the nobles?
It went terrible. Oh my god.
Whatever you thought probably was gonna happen didn't go that far. But
Yeah,
it wasn't
he-
good.
He's going back to Nightstone, and he is such a big butthole. I just regret everything that we did.
Oh well, live and learn.
Yeah, I gotta stick with you more, Evan.
You know what you're doing. But I already knew that.
Well, I was just talking to Zorana. I'm gonna stay here, and I can't pass up this chance to learn more about my god. So I think everyone else was gonna head to the castle and meet with that other lady. Meeting with the nobles is probably gonna go way better when I'm not there and you are there. So
It might also go better during the day. It's getting kind of late for them.
I think so too. We could do that the next
That's true.
day.
Well, either way, I'm gonna. There was gonna be a party with Gamble. No, I don't know that. There was gonna be
No.
a part. Do we know the party?
No,
I
you
don't
don't.
know. We don't.
Nobody does.
I was
Nobody
going to
does.
send a messenger, but I don't know when that'll arrive.
Well, actually, going back to Zinfo for a second, I believe that you finished up with Lord Talabat probably around 5 p.m. So what did you do after that?
I would have gotten a messenger, say, go to the plinth, look for a woman with a giant elk at the plinth, and deliver this message, which is the invite to the place, to the villa tonight. I'm not gonna walk all the way across. I'm gonna say,
So
get
where
a
are you
cab across I'm staying in that area. I'll probably go shopping for some nice clothes since it's a dress-up event.
You're just nice.
staying? All right.
And I'll tell them if they want to come, they could get some nicer stuff.
Sure. So as Emin and Zorana and Thornburg are standing around having this conversation, the courier, by the way, who you paid to do this, costs you 3 gold
Okay.
because you needed the message sent right away and fast. So the courier, a young guy walks up to you dudes. He's got like kind of like one of those big medieval hats that like turns to the side with a feather sticking out of it, and otherwise he's just dressed like kind of like a little bit finer than the commoners here. But he walks up to you guys and he says, "Oh, excuse me." He
Yes.
says, "I have a message here," and he's waving what looks like some sort of folded piece of paper. He says, "Can any of you read?"
Yes.
Oh,
Not
very
my
well. And
strong
he hands
suit.
it to you, Zorana,
Okay, I'll pick it up and
and he kind of just waits there.
I'll open it.
He clears his throat.
And look at the letter or paper or whatever's in there, I guess.
He clears his throat again as you begin to read the letter.
Patience, young one. She may have a response.
What's the letter say?
His shoulders slump a little when Emin says that. And as you're reading it, you see that it's explaining what, Zinfo?
It's explaining that I've met with Lord Talabat. We're invited to his vice club tonight at 7 or 9 or dusk. At dusk, if they would like to join, we get a 25 gold credit to gamble if anybody's in for that.
Okay.
And wear nice clothes.
Nice clothes.
Hope to see you there.
What do nice clothes mean? Jacket's nice. My jacket's really nice. I'm gonna go with my jacket.
So, seeing that you have now finished reading the letter, which you read out loud, I assume, so that way Thornburn Emmon knew what it said?
Yes.
Okay. The guy clears his throat again. And this time he extends out his hand.
He wants a tip, Susan.
I know, Ryan. I'll take out a gold piece and hand it to him.
Thank you
very much.
And then he runs off, taking the gold piece.
So, any luck finding a cure for our late? No, he's still alive. Is he still alive?
I'm still right here.
Oh, there you
go.
go.
He
So,
splashes in the water, like all upset.
Finding a cure for what's his face? What's your name again?
Artan?
Artan.
Artan, right. So, cure
At
for
least nobody's
Artan.
calling me Squidward.
Yeah, we did. My brother here told me about
A meeting.
a man named Father Udarian. I'm sorry, my memory's not that good. I'm not good with names.
No, neither. They're usually not worth remembering, but a description's always important.
Yeah, he's up in the field ward,
He is
which is up north,
a
supposedly.
priest of very advanced healing magics.
Well, that sounds like a good use of our time. When can he meet with us?
He
Apparently.
yeah
At night.
at midnight. Yeah, he's out. He goes out all day and heals and whatnot. So we could maybe find him if we looked around for him, but he returns around midnight. That's my guess.
Wait, you. Hang on.
And Brother Jacob's going to lead us there. No, I don't know. I mean, I've never been there, but Brother Jacob is going to lead us there.
Where?
We're going to meet him at midnight, up to the field ward.
I scrunch my face like I've had part of my brain run out my ear.
Someone can probably heal Artan. We gotta do it at midnight. He's busy in the daytime.
We did in the middle of the dark, out into the middle of a terrible place. I mean, I get it. He's a priest of Ilmater, but that's a terrible idea.
I don't know. He's going at night. People are awake at night.
All right.
Thieves, murderers, rapists.
You know about
I don't know about many people that sleep.
nobles, Emmett, and I'll give you that. But I know about gods, and my buddy here, Brother Jacob, is another holy man in the light of Ilmater. He is not going to do us wrong, and I know that with utmost certainty.
It's not him that I'm concerned about. It's all the other not hims that we'll encounter between here and there.
Man, we killed giants. Like, I'm not worried about no
We are in a
Field-
big town.
field
though.
ward
Causing a
scrubs.
ruckus.
See,
Town.
she knows you're in a city. They have laws and rules, and they don't take kindly to the types of solutions we bring to problems. It gets messy. It's best not to get caught.
Politics.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, well,
So this priest of Ilmater said we come here at midnight, and he'll take us to the other priest of Ilmater.
Did he say he
Yeah.
was a priest of Ilmater or not?
no, I
I
don't
just
think he is.
assumed it, but
I don't know, maybe he is.
I just assumed he could be.
Yeah. I hope
Okay.
he is. That would be sweet.
So here at midnight, go for a walk.
Yep.
Yeah, sounds good.
And then we'll
We'll get Artan taken care of, hopefully. Ship shape, we'll put him on a barge back to his hometown. Maybe go kill some Aboleths or something.
Sounds like a plan.
I mean, you know.
I'm just gonna stay here though, and I'll just see you guys then.
Well, just at that moment, Kareem arrives.
Oh, my friends. I just met some lovely people at the City of the Dead.
So first thing you guys notice is that he is bleeding from the left side of his belly. Well, not bleeding, but it's all dried blood now.
Oh, shit, are you okay?
Yeah, I'm fine. You know, things happen.
Did they teach you not to run while holding your dagger?
I don't have it. Do I have daggers?
Did
No,
your
I don't
parents
have
never
daggers.
tell you to not run with scissors?
I don't have scissors either. I don't. What are you guys talking about?
You're
I
bleeding.
used to have scissors.
I point.
Ah, yes. By the way, remember that man from Golden Fields? I think it was Golden Fields.
What
Oh
man?
yes, the one I
There were
said.
several men from
Don't be
here.
seen
the
in
one-
town because he's gonna
the-
send people after us.
Yes, the one who's just going to send people after us. Yeah, he sends people after us.
Oh,
Who?
touch my index finger to my tongue. I draw one line in the air. I do it again. I draw a second line in the air, and I point. That's me keeping score. And then I
But
breathe on my nails and buff them on my shirt.
they were very scared of me, so they ran away.
How did you escape this debacle?
The cunning actions.
I believe you.
Well, since
my
they
weird-
know that we're here, we should probably not go anywhere alone.
Yeah, that's
Agreed.
probably a good idea.
Especially at night.
They want us to leave. That's what they told me.
Of course they do. Well, it just means we'll have to go murder them all, leave the bodies where somebody will find them after
I
we've
thought
left.
you just said to not, do that kind of thing in the
I did.
city.
The end of the sentence was, and leave them where they won't be found till after we've left.
Okay, sorry for interrupting. I'm rude.
Remember, you can do
Okay.
anything as long as you don't get caught.
You're not wrong.
That sounds not good.
I updated Hantonus Tarm's journal entry to indicate the two assassins.
Bonus news. Zinfel invited us or sent us a message of an invitation to a party. And to bring fancy clothing, whatever that means. I think I'm fine.
I bet you all a gold piece that he or someone from his house will be there.
Good. Let's go.
No.
Oh yes. Okay.
But we don't want to be doing what I just described we would be doing in front of a room full of nobles of this. Oh, no.
Blend in.
It would be
I'm
best if
blending
we
in.
didn't go. We should go probably find Zinfel and get as far away from that place as possible.
But it could be fun.
It could
Wait,
be.
I
It
also
could also be the last time you have
we should go
or
to this
throw you
party.
in a small, cold, dark room.
Is there
with
information
locks
we
on
needed
the
from
outside.
these people at this party?
What was the question?
Is there information we needed from these people at this party? Or were we just going to a party to go to a party and gamble?
Yeah, that's pretty much it right now. I mean, Zinfel didn't really say why.
It's true. Well, Zinfel's probably still there, because if she sent us an urgent message, she's not coming to meet us here.
Yeah.
So,
Well, regardless, we should go there to either take her or join the party.
The first one, not the second one.
Bought this dress.
How much are you spending on this dress? Actually, let me give you a price. Let me see this dress. Alright. Complete with the jewelry as well?
Sure.
So, looks like the jewelry is gold and emerald. That's going to cost you it's pretty expensive. I'm going to say 2,500 gold for that necklace.
holy shit.
The dress itself, I'm going to say is 100. Because you need it rush made and it's sized to fit you.
Just get 100.
You don't need jewelry.
You can rent the necklace for 50 gold for the night. But you are strongly warned to return it. And you are told that it is magically tracked if you don't.
Oh, never mind. In the party loot, we have a silver necklace with a gemstone pendant. I'll use that. Borrow that.
But the dress itself is 100 gold.
100 gold.
It's freaking gorgeous. It's made of
I mean, you
purple
can use it later,
silks
too.
from, I don't know, Koryo. Koryo's like the Japanese equivalent in Forgotten Realms.
All right. I'm down to 2 gold.
Holy crap! I didn't realize it was.
I mean, we have party loot.
Yeah.
Yeah, we have party loot. This is my personal loot. I'm not using the party loot, except for borrowing that now.
Dude, I've had 2 gold in my personal loot for 3 days.
All right.
Thornbur's a simple man.
So are you? What are you? What are the rest of you guys doing as Zinfo is shopping and getting a dress made?
Well, I guess we're gonna head over.
I think we should at least meet up with Zinfil. Are you going to
Yes.
stay
Yeah.
here
Shit, we need rescuing.
all night, Thornbur? Are you sure you'll be okay with Brother Jacob?
Yeah, I really wanna learn. I'm not a party type anyway. You guys go ahead and have fun.
Thornburg, do you feel safe here? We're being attacked by and stalked by assassins, so
We should probably stay together.
I don't know about splitting.
Especially at night. We should stay
Are we
together.
even going to the party? I do want to. For some reason, I feel like I want to strip.
Oh yeah, I would have put the warning.
Oh yeah.
Your letter said nothing about stripping.
It didn't say anything.
I forgot.
Well, why don't we leave Artan here
Ran out
with
of
you,
room.
Thornbur? We'll go get Zinfel and we'll meet you back here.
Anything could happen.
That
And
sounds
however
like a
long
plan.
it takes to get there. We could be all together, go there, and come back.
Zinfeld might be mad.
So that
If
I
that's
understand what's going
really
on then.
accurate.
Thornbur is staying here with Brother Jacob, waiting until close to midnight to then head over to the orphanage and hospital to meet Father Eudarian. Is that correct?
Yeah.
And
Yep,
you're doing
I'm
this
gonna
by
stay.
yourself, or are you staying
Gonna
with
risk
Lord
it.
Artan?
Well, he's
Uh,
healing Artan, so he should probably be with Artan.
Okay.
Can I?
I'll hold on to him, and I could watch. I mean, I don't know how you feel about this, but I could watch Winter
He's tame.
if you don't maybe want to take him to the party. You know, it's up to you.
Well, Kareem, you're referring to the Brother Jacob?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, you weren't. They were not talking to Brother Jacob when you arrived. So unless they
Oh,
point
my
him
bad.
out to you,
Never mind. I
Yeah,
thought he
I
was
feel
outside
better.
with us.
I think I'd
you
point him
are
out.
outside
'cause
at the moment.
I thought he was outside with us though.
He is, but he's like 10 feet away.
Oh.
I'd point him out and say, explain like who the dude is that I'm staying back with. Yeah, I met this guy,
Yeah.
Brother Jacob. He's gonna
So
teach
as
me
you're
some things.
yeah, as you're looking at him, he's not paying attention to your party. He's just whispering and praying to himself, and with his eyes closed, kneeled, facing the plinth, flagellating his back.
Okay.
Every so often.
But he doesn't look like. I don't know. Does he have like some kind of ulterior motives? Does he look like he's hiding something?
Not that you
Does
can
he look-
tell. He just kind of looks a little crazy
Okay.
because he's beating himself.
Wait, what do you mean beating? Explain
Well,
that.
So
Flogging.
he's
Like
got like a
self-flagellation.
yeah.
He's got a flogger.
He's got a cat o' nine tails,
Oh.
like a leather whip, a short whip with 9
That-
sections on it, and he occasionally slaps his back with it.
Is that normal?
Not normal to a Mohorandi, no.
What the hell is that man doing?
That's what we did to the slaves.
Exactly. That's what happened to slaves. He's doing it to himself. Well,
All right.
whatever.
So it's 11:30. I think this is a good time to end because looks like you guys are gonna split the party. The rest of you are going toward the Vice Night, right? At Talibet's estate. Right? All right.
Yeah.
So I hope you guys had fun tonight.
Yeah, that was a fun
Yeah.
session.
Thank you for
That's
playing.
fun.
I know we did a lot of role playing. So-
Little combat.
a little content story. We did a lot of things, so thank you for playing it, and I assume that everybody will be good on 2 weeks from now on 5/2.
Yep.
Yes.
All right.
Yep.
Sounds good.
Yeah, that was a fun session. There's a lot to do in Waterdeep,
Oh yeah.
for sure.
You could turn this place into an entire campaign if you wanted to.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Dude, I'm itching to use that sword. I got it, and I haven't used it for 2 sessions. I'm dying.
Yeah.
You might get an
Fortunately, we'll
opportunity
never fight
soon.
again.
We can fight assassins. Maybe we can find their lair. I mean, we could do that if we wanted to.
All right. Well, thank you for
Yeah,
playing, everyone. Have a good night.
But
Yeah, thanks for running, Joe.
Yeah, no problem.
Thanks,
Eric, I'll
guys.
see you on Saturday.
Yeah, not if I see you first.
All right. Later.
Good night, all.
Good night.
Goodbye.
What? Irk. Oh man. Crazy. What do you mean, yeah?
Yeah.
You heard everything?
Yeah.
The game's so much fun to run. Those people are awesome.
Committed.
Huh?
They are committed.
Yeah, they're committed, they show up, they roleplay. They're so good as a group.